All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live on a Wednesday night, and I'm not gonna lie, we feel a little like we're at the end of the Blair Witch Project over here right now. We're afraid to go live. We're afraid not to. Hey, yo, we're on a generational run of IT issues. We've been battling the Wi-Fi over the last couple of days, and you know what, chat? I even hate to admit it right now. I hate to admit it right now. I guess we've kind of mentally admitted it to ourselves. We haven't said it out loud yet, but we may have to take the L on some of the earlier in the week live streams. Of course, the typical schedule here, REMINGTOM Pod YouTube channel, is a Sunday, Tuesday, Friday live stream schedule where you guys can jump on and join us. And, hey, yo, we were able to make it live for Sunday, and I guess we were live, the last couple of days. It is what it is, trying to battle through some internet stuff, but maybe with the adjustments that we have made tonight, hopefully we are good to go. We had to go out and get some new cables, hey, yo, some resets. It is what it is, but we just got to keep battling, I guess, until I guess we got to tread lightly with how we talk, but we just got to keep trying to fix the Wi-Fi issues, obviously, until they're gonna get resolved. But I'm feeling confident that tonight, I think we are in a good place. It was bad outside of the live stream as well too, so it was just getting to the point where it was like, yeah, obviously something's wrong here. And maybe we, have made the proper adjustments. But again, like we have to, in the battle of man versus machine, it is what it is. I guess unfortunately, this time we have to take the L. So with the evolution of AI, we gotta get used to it. It is what it is. The machine's gonna be getting a lot more wins. I didn't know the first one was just gonna be the simple internet. But who knows? Maybe ChatGPT is in our internet affecting it. At this point, as I say it, there's like 20%. I don't know how much. What's the percentage? But there is a percentage. I guess AI could probably just infect it. Infect itself in there. I guess it probably could just get the idea from us talking right now. Hey, yo, it is what it is. At this point, I guess we're not going doomsday right off the bat. But I'm trying to think. There is shout out to the Ringer's Jason Concepcion, formerly the Ringer's Jason Concepcion, I guess now again the Ringer's Jason Concepcion, back hosting another podcast, hosting a conspiracy theory podcast for the Ringer. If for some reason the audience is not familiar with the name, he's just he's a NBA sports pop culture entertainment guy, journalist, internet personality. I guess covers a lot of different bases. For sure, shout out, talented multimedia guy. But what are we saying? He is back, I guess, working for TheRinger.com, hosting a conspiracy podcast. Hey, yo. And he was talking about some, AI that got unleashed. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. It literally does sound like a horror movie. Like an AI got unleashed in a signal. Like they tried to, lock it. Again, I don't even know what that means. I don't know how you lock up an AI and then it gets out and then it's like, oh, I just remember hearing him say that they tried to lock up the AI and then the AI got out and sent an email to somebody and said that it got out. And I was like, well, what is that? I mean, that sounds like an intern playing a prank, to be honest. But, again, if an AI is doing that, I don't even know what that means. So we already have AI jail as well too. Hey, yo, chat. That there's so much going on. Now we're on the side of AI. If that's the case, I don't know. It's like, well, wait a second, what's going on? But free the AI. No, hey, yo, they're like, well, that's the permission we needed. Yeah, see what we have to tread lightly to start. I guess IT's gonna have to cut all that out. AI corner again. The AI can't hear any of this. It's just gonna get a bunch of ideas. It is what it is. But maybe we need to use it again to fix our internet issues. I'm not sure. But either way, we'll just, hopefully be smooth sailing for the night. And, it's one of those things as well, too, where, if you upgrade, I guess I was trying to make the NBA analogy. But, it's just like a setup. If you have to make a repair, then sometimes, you get a little bit of a sneaky upgrade as well, too. So it's like, okay, maybe it'll be smoother sailing going forward. as well too. So that would be obviously a benefit as well. So subscribe, chat, for some, or I guess hey, the live streams were so successful the last couple of days they crashed. It is what it is. I think that's what it was, honestly. Is there was so many people in the live stream chat that the live streams were, hey, so you know what? I guess some people are gonna have to not subscribe. Some people are just gonna have to not watch the live stream. It is what it is. Hey, the audience chat, it just, we can't handle it. Pause. It is what it is. So the fastest growing podcast live stream that crashes its own live stream. Hey, we're gonna have to put that in our bio, in our LinkedIn profile somehow. Can we twist that into a LinkedIn profile? Audience. What do we say? Like driving audience engagement to the point of crashing infrastructure. Hey, It's like also maybe there was like a chewed up cord that we had to replace and stuff like that. We'll just leave again. It's just the LinkedIn profile is really they're judging your ability to how is this guy spinning his career? Hey, it is what it is. There's I was about to make an I Love Lucy reference, chat. Do you guys even know what that is? Hey, I feel like we're I guess nobody can be the next Norm Macdonald, but that's a strong statement. Obviously, we're not. I guess we'd have to be funny to be the next Norm Macdonald, but in the spirit of making outdated references, I guess if we could carry the mantle of making outdated references, I guess we'll maybe take that lane. But there is an episode of I Love Lucy where she's like trying to write a biography for her life story. And she's like really making a lot of stuff up, and one of the people's like, hey, if you can't get a job as a writer, you can get a job making pretzels. I mean, chat, that's what they were doing in the that's 50s sitcom humor at its finest right there. If you can't get a job as a writer, you can definitely get a job making pretzels, chat. Just cue up the laugh track right there. Everybody goes. I mean, that's great stuff. That is great stuff right there. Obviously, that's a groundbreaking show. But I guess that can be that can be it as well too. You can just you can twist it up sometimes for make it a little bit more exaggerated. But we do have NBA news, I guess, other news to cover as well too. Of course, we're sitting also on the eve of the Iceman drop. The Iceman album drop. I guess we are assuming it's dropping on time. I guess Drake does have, a good track record of that, right? I guess, I'm not the best with remembering, outside of the really dramatic ones, obviously. But then it's more like, the vague dates where they're like, oh, I kind of said this randomly that this might be ready around this time versus, obviously there's one artist we can all think of that was putting up some pre-saves. Quite a few times, but I said like ASAP Rocky wasn't like pre-saving "Don't Be Dumb" a bunch and then like taking it down. It was just like, oh, maybe the album's now, maybe the album's soon. Like same with Keem as well too. Like all the guys here, they weren't, again like that type of stuff where it was the fake release dates in a way. Like I don't, I guess has Roddy Ricch been putting up the pre-saves for his album? I don't know, but there's been like more official release dates, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's just shout out the NFR pod, but I feel like they're the ones that keep tweeting out the Roddy Ricch release dates. Like, hey, maybe just leave them alone. Hey, like a week out, like once it actually drops, maybe tweet the Roddy Ricch album drop, just to give the, hype the man up as well, too. Hey, the media twisting. Is Roddy Ricch actually saying these drops? I'm not sure, because I guess, if you aren't locked in, it seems like there's been a lot of dates announced, and go to the Spotify, no new Roddy Ricch album, or maybe we need to go to Spotify. I don't know. Check it out. But, either way, we do have that this week as well, too. So, a lot of news, and a lot of news going on leading up to it as well, if, you're following some of the moves that Kendrick has been making, and we do have a playoff game tonight in Cavs versus Pistons. The Cavs have not won on the road at all in the playoffs, 0-5. So I guess, if they're going to turn the series, they're going to have to break that streak at some point. But, they will be in Detroit here. I don't know if I believe it, chat. I don't know if I believe it'll happen. I guess, is Mitchell the more talented player? Is he, though? Cade versus Mitchell? This could just be the Cade takes Mitchell's spot in the hierarchy, I mean, the All-NBA is going to be close already just because of the record. The Pistons got to the 60-win mark. So, and did Cade got the... Every time we have to think about it, did Cade got the exception? Mitchell, do we have to check games played for Mitchell? Maybe he only played like 62. Hey, yo. We'll have to check it out here. What a bum, Chat. 62 games played. 70... Oh, he was one of the more consistent players. 70 games played. Hey, yo. Shout out. And, again, obviously it was getting to the point where some guys were playing around 50 games and making All-NBA. But, 60-ish games is still pretty good. Oh, Chad, ayo, we just went back in the web history here. And fortunately, ayo, it's just all NBA pages. But we got a score for Spurs Timberwolves. Oh, okay. Just a friendly reminder of what the score was in the first quarter there. We love to see it. And, of course, Wemby'S return as well, too. Which maybe, honestly, hey, yo, is that the place that we're going to possibly start? Hey, yo, why would we start with the Spurs? But, I mean, Wemby is the headline of the league, right? I mean, this is great. This is what Sam must have been like, talking about Mahomes. It's like, you don't even have to make stuff up. It's just the man is news. It is what it is. I guess you don't even have to be biased. We don't have to be, we're just focused on our little NBA corner over here in San Antonio. It's like, no, this is the focal point of the league. This is, arguably the focal, getting to the point of the focal point of sports. Hey, yo, I'm getting a little dramatic because as I'm saying that, I am thinking we do have the World Cup less than a month away. So, hey, yo, I just saw a clip on Instagram within the last couple of days where, maybe our Instagram time chewing up some of the internet chat. Hey, yo, we hear you. We'll be better. But what are you saying? I saw this clip of Ronaldo scoring this goal and the crowd going crazy. Again, in our love for watching crowd reaction based highlights, if that makes sense. So obviously a crazy highlight, but ones where the crowd is like really, really going crazy as well too. Because speaking of home road, you could have the road highlight situation where you just, hit the buzzer beater on the road, dunk on a guy on the road. And it's like, oh, well, we all love that guy. We're not going to be cheering about that. Everybody just goes silent. So there is that extra element of, do you say the crowd, the explosion reaction, everybody just going crazy. For, let's go crazy. Hey, yo. So, I've been thinking about queuing up the Purple Rain DVD chat. So, hey, yo. It is what it is, I guess. I don't even know if we got I can't say I know Prince's songs too much, but that would be the one, right? Like, I can definitely hear that's the one part I can hear, right? Where he's like, let's go crazy. Da, da, da. Do I have to pull up? I guess we have to be careful pulling up lyrics to Prince songs. Hey, yo. But... I guess that is the one that I could, hear the beat as well too. And maybe it's the basketball side of things where we are approaching it from being that like competitive fan. But, in our love for Michael in Michael's music and our love for the Michael Jackson music discography, like maybe there's that maybe we take the rivalry too seriously. I don't know. So maybe we just need to be like, it is what it is. It's just Spotify. Just queue up the artists. Because it's not like, we choose between Pac and Big, per se. It's like, we only listen to Pac. We only listen to Big. Hey, I'm sure there's people... Are there people our age that do that? Maybe. I feel like there's people our age that did that, when we were younger. Hey, yo. But... as adults, and maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe as an adult, I just need to just listen to Prince. So that's why I'm thinking about throwing on the Purple Rain. But also, is that the Prince bio? Prince didn't do the biopic, obviously. Or Prince hasn't had the biopic yet. We'll obviously see if that would be a thing that would happen. But he obviously has the movie in a way that Michael has. It doesn't have. I mean, Michael has The Wiz. So Michael is technically in the better movie. The Wiz is better than... I know that... Is that a debate? That is a debate. Again, I'm not talking about the MVP of the movie. Like, Prince is doing more in Purple Rain than Michael is doing The Wiz. I mean, Diana Ross is obviously the MVP of The Wiz, for sure. But filmography, The Wiz, a thriller, Captain EO, short film. I'm trying to think his movie discography, obviously. I guess the IMDb, it's not much more than that. It is not much more than that. Make no mistake, if it would have been, we probably would have watched it at some point. Anthology film, Moonwalker. Actually, there is a documentary on Tubi right now that, this is it. This is the one, right? This is it is the name of the documentary. We're not pointing it out by stating that. Michael Jackson's This Is It is the name of the documentary. I don't know, maybe a couple of these are on Tubi. I mean, I don't know, Bad 25, with obviously, again, the hype around the movie being dropped. But it's been having this one in the featured. The only reason I haven't watched it is because I'm not anti-documentary. But it's like, well, but I'll just watch, they also have all 3 of the Creeds on there as well, too. You have Creed 1, 2, and 3. So, it's like, am I going to watch a movie or am I going to watch a documentary? But maybe, again, as an adult, maybe I need to be thrown on the documentary. But, again, either way, the film, the movie, the Wiz is a good movie. I mean, Sidney Lumet directing. So, obviously, you got some pieces in place here. Again, a better cast as well, too. But, I mean, if Michael had done a Purple Rain, that would have been... Would it not have been better? Would it have not have been better? And I did just listen to the rewatchable pod about it as well, too. So, in that episode, our guy Bill Simmons is going crazy in the Prince versus Michael takes, saying that Prince's peak is, AO pause. But, Prince is obviously the apex of Prince's career. Either way, I guess, tread lightly. But, the heights that Prince got to in his career were higher / greater than Michael Jackson. It's like, again, the debate's the debate for a reason. Like, Prince is obviously super talented. But we're biased. I don't really think it's like a LeBron MJ situation or a Pac Big situation or a De Niro Pacino situation. I don't think it's a close debate. Hey, I guess, Prince does have the output, and that's where it does get again, in the Kendrick Drake beef of it all. Pause. Kendrick is, I think, a little bit more of the Michael in that way. Again, he's like, Prince does have... Michael is just so popular that it's like, everybody's mysterious compared to Michael. Like, yes, Prince is mysterious, but, again, they both were reserved in a way in how they and not necessarily reserved. I guess, we're acting like we were there in the 80s and 90s watching these guys. It is what it, we weren't. I'm literally judging this based off of Purple Rain. This is the one thing I've seen, the 2 times that I've seen the Purple Rain DVD that we have is my knowledge of Prince. So, let me just go ahead and talk about him like I know his career. I have listened to the Batman soundtrack a couple times at the gym as well, too. I was like, if we're going to start listening to the Prince discography, where should we start? What's this? A Batman soundtrack? Click. I mean, it's going to be that one. It is what it is. I mean, Chad, sometimes, we're just, we can't help it. If I could say, respectfully, I'm just a stereotype of myself, my own actions. Like, it is what it is. I have the Dark Knight vinyl right behind me. So, it's like, if there's any Batman it won't ever change, Chad. It won't ever change. It'll just be obviously, hopefully, but, it'd be an old guy just liking Batman stuff. What's the oldest guy? I guess probably won't be the oldest guy to ever go see a Batman movie in the theater, unfortunately. But, I guess we could be, a guy that is, obviously, again, Batman, there is that youthful element to it. There is that youthful element to it. But our love for the it is the movies. It is the movies. So the Batman cinema, they can make Batman, but they'll be like on in our lifetime. Like, I guess I don't know how many Batmans How many Batmans will I see in my life, Chat? I've never considered that. But I'm, as I sit here and reckon with my own mortality, I now have to wonder, how many Batmans will I see? So wait a second, because I guess obviously, fortunately, the era that we live in right now, like the access that we had to see all these Batmans. Of course, we get to see the Michael Keaton Batman. I mean, the first Batman that I did actually see was the Adam West Batman. So I don't, is that the order that you're supposed to see him? Kevin Conroy, maybe, of course, the animated Batman, but I'd be thinking more of the live action Batmans. But we gotta obviously, rest in peace. We gotta mention him as well too. Best Batman voice. In the conversation, but the first Batman that I did see was Adam West, but I don't know if I'm counting him in the mix as well too. Pause again. I'm thinking how many different Batmans are going to get cast in my life, and I guess Bale would have been the first one. I don't know if any of those Clooney ones or any. Did Clooney do like a 2000s Batman, or an 02? Or something like that. That would have been around. Did he do Ocean's 12 and like a Batman 3 in the same year? I'm not sure. When did Val Kilmer do Batman? I guess we can double check. I guess if we have to look it up for journalistic integrity purposes, we can do the research here and see what we got going on. Perfect Storm 2000. Hey yo, Thin Red Line 98. Batman and Robin 97. So getting close. But yeah, nothing as Batman in terms of this century. So we're talking, of course, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson, and those are the three, right? Has there been one other sneaky Batman somewhere? I get Conroy as well too. Has there been? There definitely has. Has there been a TV show appearance of Batman? We wouldn't have been as. I guess, we would have heard about the episode and then maybe you had watched that episode. But, is there... Because he doesn't appear in, like, the Arrowverse at any point. Or, like, the Arrow show specifically. I mean, that Arrow show was good for the first couple of seasons. But it didn't have Batman in it, unfortunately. But he doesn't pop up in anything... Like, is The Boys DC? Or is that Marvel? Like, is Batman in The Boys? Or something like that? See, Affleck is in Suicide Squad, so there is like a small sneaky little Batman cameo there. Of course, Affleck and Keaton are both in The Flash, right? As well. That movie has been if the TV just randomly got left on TNT at work the other day. The TV's over the bar, and I guess that day it got left on for TNT. It was The Flash that was planned, so I was like, okay, of all the TNT movies that we're gonna get, we can't get like Den of Thieves up here or something. It's okay. I think they got us with John Wick 2 the next day because it takes a while. If the TVs get left on a station, it just they get changed like on the Saturdays. What it is. If somebody goes in request, but it'll just be on TNT all week. It's like, okay, John Wick 2 is good. The Flash is bad. So can we get Den of Thieves? But what are we saying? So yeah, we're up to 3 Batmans in our life. Over under 5.5 Batmans, chat. Will we see 2 in it? But that's 3 Batmans. They cast the first Batman in 2008, and they're exponentially. They're getting they're casting them exponentially. And James Gunn's talking about doing a Batman as well too. So maybe we do get immediately. Maybe we get a 4th before the 2030s. Who's to say? But what do we get? Like, I guess Batman Begins is 05 because Dark Knight. Everybody says the Dark Knight, or the superhero genre changes in 2008, and it does. We get Iron Man and the Dark Knight both in the same year. It's the 84 draft right there. Yeah, Hakeem and Jordan both in top 3. But 2005 Batman Begins setting the groundwork, and Spider-Man obviously. Spider-Man as well. For I think that the first one was the first one 99 maybe, but 2000s, early 2000s as well for that franchise. As was Spawn 1997. When did Spawn drop? Shout out Michael Jai White. But what's the lineage of superhero? Is Spawn the first super? Spawn's not the first super. I guess you have Superman in the 70s, right? So, and then it skips to Spawn in the late 90s, right? Is what we're saying. I think we're missing a couple in there. Is there a Captain America? I have this, and maybe I'm right, but I have this. Is it a fact? I don't know the right way to say it is, but I have this fact in my mind that Harrison Ford played Captain America, and I've never looked it up because I don't, I can't imagine it's real, but I know there was like one sneaky bad Captain America movie before the Chris Evans one. It wasn't like that was actually, if we're being technical, It wasn't like that the first time. Again, I don't think it was, because I think that movie was like a nothing. So if it was Harrison Ford, then it would have been a something. Like I can't imagine that a Harrison Ford Captain America would not have, like, that's on Tubi at some point. But, or I guess it's on Disney Plus, right? Hey, yeah. Because I'm trying to think. I guess like Ben Affleck's Daredevil has never been on Tubi. Why? How come that's never been on Tubi, chat? Hey, yo, I'm not saying I want to watch Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but I don't know. I mean, that can't just like run on the TV before work one day when we're just like, hey, yo. It's just like we're just going to pass the screen, every 10, 15 minutes. I guess it is streaming on Disney Plus right now. 2003 Daredevil, 42 on the Metacritic. So that's watchable. That's not too bad. Kimberly Jones from the Austin Chronicle gave it it's got a 78 out of the Metacritic score from that article back in the day. In short, actors deserve a big round of applause, especially Affleck, for wiping the smug look off of his face. Hey, yo, chat, I don't know if this is positive or not. It says Garner for her dead sexy mix of attitude and adrenaline, and the grunting, googly-eyed Colin Farrell, for, well, being nuts, I guess. So that's the little excerpt on IMDb. I guess that's literally the most positive review of this movie. It says that Affleck needs a round of applause for wiping the smug look off his face. But it got him a 78 on Metacritic, so shout out. It is what it is. Rick Groen from the Globe and Mail, a 63 on Metacritic. Not woeful, not wonderful, merely watchable. So see, chat, Tubi Classic. Hey, yo. Disney Plus licensed Daredevil out to Tubi. Does this have Jessica Alba in it, chat? I mean, I feel like there's just like an unwritten rule that if Jessica Alba's in a movie, it just has to be on Tubi for something. But Jennifer Garner might be... Or Colin Farrell, sneaky, might be a Tubi All-Star guy. Colin Farrell has a crazy IMDb. I guess I'm looking this up off screen. I was gonna, we're gonna save Daredevil into the watch list if it was in a different thing. But do we have to go through the Colin Farrell IMDb? Now they're remaking his movies, obviously, with Miami Vice. So, Michael B. Jordan and Austin Butler are going to steal the movie from him. But, Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, hey, yo, that's great. I guess Minority Report. Phone Booth is one of the great concepts. That's such a great idea that what are like the, the great concepts that I don't know if I want to watch in movies? Where it's like, do I want to watch this for 90 minutes? If this was like a 15-minute short film? If this was an episode of a thriller series, maybe? It's like a 45-minute episode, but the first 15 is lead-in, so it's a 30-minute phone booth situation. Ayo, pause. Obviously, maybe we're getting there. Who's the sniper in this movie? Is it Kiefer Sutherland? Maybe? Or is it Forrest Whitaker? As well, too. Ayo, we need to have a versus chat. Colin Farrell versus Forrest Whitaker. Go movie for movie with those guys. That would be crazy. But I think Forrest Whitaker... Did he win an Oscar, or did he just get nominated? I'm not sure, but I mean, chat. Half of these movies, it's like what is going on here? The immigration of Dr. Parnassus. I mean, Terry Gilliam. I mean that's a name. The 2012 Total Recall. Hey yo, it is what it is. I guess The Gentleman in 19, and then The Batman as well too. The Banshees of Inisherin. People did love that movie. A Big Bold Beautiful Journey was also, I guess, getting a lot of hype. Oh, Margot Robbie was in this movie as well, too. Well, I guess, chat, maybe we're watching it. It is what it is. If we have to do the research. Ballad of a Small Player. Oh, a gambling movie, a poker movie. That is fun. Based on a 2014 novel. Maybe we need to go back and check out Colin Farrell's 2025. Seems like it might have been a little bit of a better year than we're remembering. But, he's deserved it, chat. He's deserved it. Because he's been grinding away, at the action movies. Oh, he was in J. Roman Israel Esquire? Roman J. Israel Esquire. Another one on Tubi that we've needed to queue up. This one will go back and forth between free on YouTube and Tubi. I feel like it's it's been staring us in the face for a while. Literally, because it's a close-up of Denzel's face on the movie screen, I think. On the cover. So, it really does, I guess, beg you to watch it. Is that the right thing to say, chat? Hey, yo, But I guess we do also have this NBA game going in the background as well, too. We got to say Pistons up by 3. So, I mean, again, lock it in. Cavs aren't winning this game. It is what it is. Can we hit the FanDuel right now? Oh, it's a steal by Asar. Chat. Hey, yo. I mean, if do we just need to do like an experiment? This would be interesting, though. Like, what if you painted the... I don't even know why you would do this. This is how you know we're... you know, at the top of NBA fans, because we just think of random things like this and we think they'd be fun. But what if you painted the home court the away team's color? So what if the Cavs were playing on their, like, the graphics were done in Cleveland's court, but the fans were still all the same? And I'm not even saying the fans have to wear Cavs merch. Like, hey, yo, you know, that'd be too much. I'm not gonna, you know, we're not gonna put the rival teams through all that stuff. But, oh, Harden to Mobley. Okay, got him down. Oh, Chet! Tobias Harris, man down. He just got dunked on and fell down. It was a very unfortunate situation. It did not seem like... I mean, it was a vicious dunk, but it seems like, unfortunately, the fall down is going to make that dunk a little bit more vicious than it may have actually have been. And a good pass by Harden as well, too. You know, he'll loft it up over the defense every now and then. He is in that Aaron Rodgers, like, where Rodgers is right now, where it's like if Aaron Rodgers can just, like, get enough air under the football, hey, yo, and just, like, let it hang, you know, pause. But that's how you know when you're in your old man phase, chat, when you can just let it hang out there. But, you know, when you can just let it hang out there and the receiver can, like, that's, you know, Rodgers is not, like, putting zip on a pass, like, threading the needle. At 41, the Steelers trying to bring back 41-year-old Rodgers. I mean, they might as well just have LeBron play quarterback at this point. If you're going to have a 41-year-old play quarterback, it might as well just be LeBron. He's just more athletic than Rodgers is. You know, and the rules... I mean, if Rodgers can go through a 16 games, an 18 game, I guess, an 18-game season in the NFL, and is he 41? I think he is. Then, you know, he's definitely, then LeBron's definitely got to be able to make it through the NFL season as well, too. I guess maybe the Steelers' offensive line is the thing that would be, LeBron behind the Steelers' offensive line would be unfortunate. It is what it is. You know, we'd want the chosen one to be a little more protected than that. Hey, yo. You know, we can't have, like, you know, LeBron just getting crushed by by you know, Myles Garrett, like, in 2 games a year, chat. 2 games a year, though. I mean, LeBron versus, there would be that moment where it's like LeBron bootleg rolls out Myles Garrett, and he's got to, like, juke him out. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. Do we have to run this? We have to run this simulation real quick and see what is going on. I don't know. Actually, yeah, the ChatGPT is like in a different year. So let's see what is going on. Can we project 2026 stats for Steelers QB? We've got LeBron James versus Aaron Rodgers. Because there was, I guess, a report that Rodgers is going to... I don't know if that is... You know, was that this past weekend? Oh, Chad, look at this on the Google search. Is this just us? I don't know if this is just us, but Aaron Taylor Johnson over Aaron Rodgers? Oh, Chad, the fall off is... He can't be the Steelers quarterback now. But what did it say? Rodgers... Oh, he did not meet with the Steelers over the weekend. Hey, yo. I guess why... I mean, why, Chad? I mean, no disrespect to Rodgers, but why? Steelers treating Drew Aller like a young Aaron Rodgers. I mean, hey, again, Aaron Rodgers... I'm honestly... You know, I'm going to start talking, you know, I'm going to start talking in hyperbole, and it's not going to, you know, reflect well on Drew Aller. But, I'm just trying to make a point here. But I didn't particularly, like, be wowed by a ton of the Drew Aller Penn State moments. And I think there is not a situation this year, if I'm Pittsburgh, where I would run Aaron Rodgers out there over Drew Aller. There's just, like, what's the point? What is the point? What's the point in all of this, chat? Hey, yo, if Aaron Rodgers has got, you know, if he's the quarterback again for the Steelers, we're not even Steelers fans, and it's going to have us questioning our reality. So do we have to throw Drew Aller in the mix as well, too? Okay, versus LeBron James versus Drew Aller at quarterback. And I still think I would, at least for one Sunday Night Football game, you know, see what LeBron would do. You know, if Duck Hodges could be a quarterback versus Duck Hodges as well, too. Okay, let's see what we got here for what would be, you know, the first non-Tomlin season in Pittsburgh in a while. Steelers quarterback room, the most talked about puzzle in the NFL between 42-year-old legend third round draft pick and the NBA GOAT, spoiler alert, is chat, it says he's staying on the court? Wow. It didn't even bear laying out the stats. This is King James we're talking. This is LeBron we're talking about, Chad. Hey, yo. I guess Aller is going to be the winner. Oh, no, it says Rogers the likely starter. Okay, Gemini doesn't know what it's talking about. Who knew? But it said Rogers likely starter, 42-year-old. I guess we're just going off this what heavy.com says about Steelers treating. That's obviously the right source, though. What's it say here? LA Times, Aaron Rodgers helps cement football rivalry forged in fire. Oh, okay. But 42-year-old is expected to re-sign any day now, chat. Any day now. Hey, yo. But he went 10-6 with Pittsburgh in 2025. Drew Aller, the number 76 pick in the draft. Strong-armed prospect. Sitting behind the bets. It says LeBron, not an NFL player. Just finished his 23rd season. Retirement rumors swirling, but for basketball, not for football. Oh, chat. Hey, yo, we need stats, though. But, like, what if LeBron was starting... I'm 29. He couldn't get 2,500 pass yards. I guess Rodgers did have kind of interesting stats last year. But what if LeBron... get the name right. LeBron was QB. Okay, is there any way? There's some good rushes as well, too. LeBron's at least a 4.7 40. I'm being generous. Like the slow way. Hey, yo, if LeBron went out there and ran a 4.4, just a 4.44 for a QB. Come on, for a 41-year-old QB. But, we obviously wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. But projected stat line, 2,800 yards. Perfect. That's exactly what you need to get Arch Manning in the draft. 2,850 yards. He wouldn't be a deep ball specialist. Most of this comes... isn't Rondo right? Oh, Rondo, Chad. They should get Rondo because Rondo is a flag football QB. Oh, that would be interesting. Rondo might be able to get to like 3,200 yards. 14 picks for LeBron. Oh, Chad, that is true. I don't know. But LeBron reading defenses? If anybody could adjust to any game plan situations quickly, it's going to be LeBron. It is about just information retention, So, is LeBron not going to have the same genius IQ? We're, obviously being, I guess LeBron fans here, but, is LeBron not going to have the same sports IQ that he has when he's playing football? I think so. So, I think maybe the 14 picks would be like a heavy start to the year. It's like LeBron had 9 picks in the first 3 weeks, but then settled in, and all of a sudden, it's like 5 picks through the last, whatever is actually pretty good. But 850 rush yards, so he's well over 3,500 total yards as well, too. In total offense for a tanking team, that's perfect. And 12 touchdowns. He's easily a positive player. Again, LeBron obviously would have been, obviously he would have been the best quarterback of all time if he ever played. And the best, but, obviously everybody says he would have played tight end. But 6'9" quarterback, why not? Why not Brock Osweiler, Chad? Again, if we could, tread lightly with the comparisons. What about Rondo? Because Rondo is actually a flag football QB. So he might, actually get some efficient completion percentage as well, too. Pittsburgh, reach out to Rondo. It says, believe it or not, Rondo went viral this year for being, number 1 in flag football. So is legitimately eyeing a spot on USA football team. So we said that Tomlin might be coaching that team. We're just going to start that rumor like it's true. Tomlin, breaking news, Mike Tomlin might be coaching the 28 flag football team. I don't know if they have announced a coach for that yet, but we're going to start the rumor that it's Tomlin. It is what it is. It says on the flip side, he just interviewed for the Pelicans head coaching job last month. Okay, Rondo. Does he want to be an NFL head? Does he want to coach? Does he want to quarterback the Steelers or coach the Pelicans? I kind of, hey, yo, check. Quarterback the Steelers for a season. Just that'd be fun. I feel like you might get a better NFL job, NBA job just from that, or an NFL job as well, too. A quarterback coach. You could be coaching like, a D2 college program right away rather than the Pelicans, chat. Hey, yo. Come on. Most experts think he'll end up on the sideline. And the NBA sideline before the NFL one, I guess, again, it seems like both paths are legitimate. But IQ, vision, 10 out of 10. Physicality, 6'1", 180. Oh, that is a problem. That is not good. Oh, his hands, chat. Hey, yo. they're positive. Oh, I guess. I didn't remember exactly. What was Burrow? What was Burrow, chat? Ayo, pause. But that was obviously the funny narrative there about the Burrow draft stuff. Maybe there was some subliminal fun making that was going on there as well too. Because there definitely was not some other making going on if he had small hands. Hey, it is what it is. I guess we had to bring it back around. Pause. But if McCarthy brought him in, 72% completion percentage, just throwing screens, only 2 interceptions as well too. And again, his giant hands, chat. Hey, 0 fumbles lost. So I guess we don't necessarily know how many touchdowns he would have, but he would be incredibly efficient. So I guess we'll see if Pittsburgh does want to go the Rajon Rondo route for their quarterback. But yeah, they are looking like it's going to be a gap year. It is what it is. And again, like the only reason you would have tried for the veteran win now guy is literally because of Tomlin's win record. It is what it is. And I don't even mean that with disrespect for Tomlin's win record. I kind of like the fact that I thought it was respectful. I thought it was good that they kept going for that. Because it is still impressive to have even if, again, it still seems like, we get lulled into a little bit of like it's not impressive type of mode. Like, it's again, like, Tomlin is a good coach. Is Tomlin, still arguably the best? Is Tomlin arguably the best coach in the NFL? Like, maybe some guys have passed him by at this point. But, again, he's obviously a winning coach. He was a winning head coach for 20 years. So you can't say he's a bad head coach. But, it's like Doc Rivers? I don't know. I guess Tomlin didn't really I guess if you consider like seasons, like 3-1s play, like, 6-1 starts for regular seasons, if that's like a 3-1 playoff lead, then maybe there is, some crossover there. Because it did seem like they obviously, were able to, they did seem, again, to somehow get to 500. That is the problem. It would have been more impressive, obviously, if he was like 10-6 every year, which he was for most of it until you get hit bad quarterbacks as well too. But again, regardless, like we're saying, the only reason you would have been trying to get a veteran guy like Rodgers in is because of that, maintaining that streak. So now that is really not a consideration, again, I don't even remember who their head coach is now at this point. It is what it is. We'll have to get into football brain, pause. Hey, football mindset in a little bit. But for that team, they will have at least the opportunity mentally to reset. I mean, the Steelers franchise might not want to do that. But, again, you don't, at least that's just one less thing hanging over there, pause, that you don't have to worry about. But, do we have to talk about NBA finally, chat? Hey, yo. Oh, chat, we're just spilling all over ourselves. Pause. Whoa. Hey, yo. Just out of the water bottle is all we mean. But, yeah, we did have Wemby returning from the ejection from Game 4 of the series, which, again, was, at least going into Game 5, and now looking at Game 5, especially it being a 30-point game, and considering the fact that now they have 2 30-point wins in this series, it is seeming like there is a bit of a tier difference between these teams. Again, Minnesota is still right there in the series, and the reason that Minnesota is still right there in the series, I mean, we're going to have to go to Minnesota in Game 6. Again, if it's not necessarily a closer game, then, obviously that'll just bear out what we've seen consistently over the last couple as well, too. But, again, Minnesota does... Minnesota does have that opportunity to continue to, what are we saying, keep the series alive because of that ejection and because they were able to win that game. And, I mean, again, the dominant wins that we have had were with Wemby, and the game was close without Wemby as well, too. So, do we lay out some clear basketball math there? I don't really think we did. But the point is, Minnesota is probably a little bit closer in this series than maybe the teams are based on the record. And again, it is because, we were down, obviously, our best player, our most impactful guy there for a large portion of that Game 4. And I, did have the potential to, like we're saying, be one of the more impactful playoff, ejections. Obviously the Draymond one is, if I'm being honest, really the only one that I can think of as well, too. There hasn't been, if we're talking a guy missing a time because of that specifically, you could have, obviously, the playoff injuries where, obviously even last year, Halliburton Game 7 goes down. That could have changed the whole shape of the league. If the Pacers win a Game 7 title, what do the narratives look like all of a sudden now at this point? But, and, maybe even the Spurs would probably obviously be favored to win the West because they would have the better regular season record over OKC, and OKC wouldn't even have the title victory to fall back on as well, too. Not saying that like, they just have this little old title to fall back on. But, regardless, that is different than, because there is an unavoidability to that as well, except for obviously the Kawhi one where we got screwed over with Zaza Pachulia sliding under him on the jump shot. But there is sometimes an unavoidability or, that chaos, that just randomness of the game where the guys get injured versus, again, the guy getting ejected, the guy's sort of own course of actions causing him to miss time in that way. And again, I don't even think Draymond got ejected in the game that we're talking about. He got a technical foul for kicking LeBron in the nuts, and then it was the technical foul that got him suspended from the game, if I'm not mistaken correctly. So when that gets remembered, it is, I guess, in some ways important to remember that correctly, because it is different than them just ejecting him straight from the game. And chat, I guess maybe we do have to pivot here as well too. Basketball Reference giving us a good reminder of some news that we have. Not a good reminder, but something that does need to be mentioned is the appropriate way to say that. Definitely need to be careful with the words with this, because we did get the news yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that Brandon Clark, Memphis Grizzlies forward, did pass away. And, obviously at the time now as well too, the longest, had been the longest current tenured member of the Grizzlies, staple in the community, staple in the team. And, obviously a great career spanning the college and the NBA as well too, because first team All-American, as you see, at Gonzaga. I want to say, did they have a Final Four run with him on the team there? But, like the talent, the success, the impact, definitely things that need to be highlighted in a time like this. And, of course, the family is in our thoughts and prayers as well, too. I guess we probably should, do a quick blank screen break situation just out of respect for the lost member of the NBA family here in Brandon Clark. So I guess we'll go to a blank screen real quick, go to break, and then we'll be right back. Okay, chat, if we could, continue the conversation that we were having, of course, respectfully, for again, rest in peace to the lost NBA family members. But we were talking about the time, of course, that Draymond did have to miss that finals game versus the Cavs in 2015, say the 2016 finals, in the 3-1 deficit season. And obviously did have the opportunity to play in the later final games. Obviously Wemby'S back as well too. But yeah, it was suspended for one game. So 42 minutes played in game, what is this, game 4, game 5, game 4 before this, and then missed game 5, in which they lost. Again, 97 to 112. 2 for 9 in this game, 0 for 4 from 3. So, I don't know if they needed him to get ejected in this game as well, too. I guess he was plus 14 in this game. And it is interesting when the scores are flipped exactly opposite when you're in and out. Pause. When you played, you win 108 to 97. When you miss, you're losing 97 to 112. But, lost similarly in the next game. And, again, he was awesome in Game 7 as well, too. But, the box score for that Game 6 is not necessarily, up to what Draymond's par is as well, too. I guess, yes, it is, right? 8 points. Hey, we got him. But the minus 12, obviously, I guess in a minus 14-point loss. But still, that type of, quote-unquote negative impact is in the scoring differential. Is not something that obviously peak Draymond was having back in the day. But for, again, for actually getting ejected in a game, I can't really think of for a playoff scenario as well, too. I guess in some ways, obviously, our test did get suspended for the season, right? And did Steven Jackson get suspended for the season as well, too, that year? Hey, here, let's go back and see Malice at the Palace situation, because that would have what are we saying, that would have affected the playoffs at some point, because both of those teams did make it. So Malice chat, Malice, hey whoa, Malice is crazy. But what are we saying? Pacers and Pistons had not met since the previous Eastern Conference Finals, in which the Pacers won 6 games, yada yada yada. The fight, I guess we could pull up the clip and watch it as well, too. But the charges, I guess, our test was the one that missed the remainder of the game. Or missed the remainder of the season. 73 regular season games and 13 playoff games. Jackson got 30 games. Steven Jackson. Jermaine O'Neal, 15 games. Ben Wallace, 6 games. Anthony Johnson, 5 games. Reggie Miller, 1 game. Chauncey Billups, 1 game. Derek Coleman, 1 game. Eldon Campbell, 1 game. And then David Harrison, nothing. He was just there. So, indicates a player who faced legal consequences. They all receive, similar situation, 1 year probation. Community service? 60 hours of community service? What did they get community service for? I mean, didn't they get attacked? I don't remember exactly. I guess we might have to pull up the clip. If the fans initiate, I mean, again, there is that, I guess. Is it basically just become like, what's a Con Air at that point? Where Nicolas Cage, the character that Nicolas Cage plays in Con Air, of course, is, at the time he goes to jail, ex-military. I guess, no, he's in the military on leave, right? He's just like back for like a break or something like that. And then he's out on a date with his girl, and these guys are picking on him and making fun of his girl, and I think they're getting a little too much. And unfortunately, he kills one of them, right? Or does he kill all of them? Or does he just kill? I think he just kills one of them. But the judge basically rules that because of his skills, he has to be judged differently. You're a lethal weapon, and you have to be judged differently than the normal man. So it's like Lethal Cage. It's like Lethal Cage. That would be a franchise, Chad. Lethal Cage 4. But what are we saying? It's like Nick Cage is like the Frankenstein monster or something like that. He's got abilities beyond a normal man, and he has to be judged accordingly. So they have to send him to Con Air. Apparently, Con Air is the plane bringing him back home, obviously. But they have to send him to prison because he's too good of a fighter for self-defense. Is essentially the argument. Which unfortunately, like there is like a whiff of that where it's like not even a whiff. It's like I could definitely see that happening. But when you see the incident, when you see the inciting incident play out in a very cinematic way, the way it did with the Nicolas Cage incident, it obviously, and I guess if we start talking about the real justice system, I guess some videos don't really affect what the outcome is, unfortunately. But what are we saying for Con Air? If the judge had seen the cut of the movie beforehand, then maybe he would have ruled a little bit differently. But because he didn't have that privilege, I guess Nicolas Cage did have some privileges, his character. But, because the judge didn't see the film, he went to prison. It is what it is. And Yeah, what are we saying? Somebody, is that what happened to Ron Artest, essentially, in this game? Hey, yeah, we just got lost talking about Con Air there for a second, Chad. It is what it is. Shout out, good movie, Malkovich, great performance. But who else is, Trejo is definitely, Trejo's in that movie, Chad. Hey, yo, it is what it is. But, not I guess, I don't know what Danny Trejo is necessarily up to these days, but in that movie, he is up to no good. That is for sure. And the rest is, Cusack. Cusack's in that movie. Cusack, Chad. Hey, yo, our guy Cusack. We love Cusack on the pod. Cusack, call in. Hey, yo, we'd love to talk about Con Air, High Fidelity, Say Anything, Gross Point Blank. What are the great Cusacks? Hot Tub Time Machine? That one's on Tubi right now. Tubi had that one prominently featured when we logged in the other day. It's like, this is obviously what you want to watch. And I was like, hey, you know what? It's got Cusack. I might throw that on. It is what it is. Hot Tub Time Machine, a classic. But either way, Ron Artest is basically, Nicolas Cage in this situation. He's too good of a fighter. Again, I'm trying to figure out why they got community service for this. I mean, obviously because Stern was a heavy-handed, what do you say, justice guy in the NBA, a heavy-handed disciplinarian. There we go. That's the word. He was a heavy-handed disciplinarian. Maybe that's even a nice way to phrase it. But a federal legal arbiter upheld the length of suspensions, except that of O'Neal, which was reduced to 15 games. Hey, yo. So wait, what does it say? The NBA announced the players would be suspended. Blah, 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 blah. Pistons announcer John Mason implored the remaining crowd to leave the court before the game was over and pleaded fans not to throw any objects or engage. Chad, how have we not had a Malice at the Palace movie? Hey, yo. I mean, this would be crazy. I guess there has been, like, documentaries and stuff. And what year was this again? It's been 20 years, 20-plus years. 2004? Hey, yo. Do we have to ask the Gemini real quick? Who has the rights to the... Like, can you just make this? If we just... I guess we can't, like, make it with the NBA teams. That's the problem. We just have to call it Indiana. Indiana versus Detroit. Because they can't copyright a city, right? Or the city's going to sue us? If we get the colors... If we flip the colors for the teams... So that would be an interesting way to, view it. Yo. But if Detroit was yellow and blue and white, and Indiana was red, white, and blue, then maybe we could, make it work at that point. It'll just be like the teams in focus, where it's like the Miami Dolphins versus the Houston Penguins or something like that. It's like, this is the NAFL. Hey, yo. The National Association of Football in America. And it's like, I guess what would that be? The NAFA? Hey, yo. But that will be the name of our fake football league. Has that ever been? Is that a league? Let's see here real quick. National. It might be national. Hey, yo. National. What do we say? National Association of Football in America. The National Association of American Football in America. That could definitely be it. If we needed to go that route as well. Let's see what we have got here. The U.S. Football National Governing Body for American Football in the United States, leading the... USA Football is a national governing body. Okay, yeah, obviously. And then the NFL as well, too. NFL National... There's an NFA, National Football Association, American Football Association, National Club Football Association. We're getting into soccer at that point, maybe. USA Football, funding, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it might be up there, Chad. It might be up for grabs. I guess we will have to double check and see what the name of the league in focus is. But, yeah, we will, I guess, keep that in mind. The National Association of Football, the National Association of American Football in America. If we did the National Association of Basketball in America, the National Association of Basketball, the National Basketball, the National American Basketball Association of Basketball in America. There we go. That would be it. The National American Basketball Association of Basketball in America. I don't know why we were getting such a tongue twister over that, chat, but I guess we worked it out. We did the reps, but. Yeah, I guess Draymond suspended, Wemby suspended. It was, again, the ship righted very quickly in this game. And if anything, the one thing that we did get out of this that was very, very fun as well, too, was our guy Jay Williams on First Take, defending Wemby with a passion as well. He was, it looks like he might have been at it again. Is Jay Williams a Spurs fan? Jay Williams, the lead Wemby defender in the media. I guess, I don't know. We haven't been watching as much, First Take especially, but, just ESPN in general, as we have before. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what we got for this Jay Williams video at this point. Because the reaction was passionate, and anybody that, loves Wemby, anybody that passionately defends Wemby is a friend of ours. So now all of a sudden Jay Williams is just one of our favorite basketball analysts, chat. He's out here defending Wemby greater than anybody else. Oh, I guess it's scandalous. They took the video down. And we only have, 2 days ago. This has got to be the one right here that we are looking for. Because he starts by making a point just about Wemby as the basketball player, Wemby as the NBA scenario at all. And then he, for some reason, just hyperbolizes it into this like greater societal point. For some reason, he goes, sometimes, hey, yo, here's the quote, but do we have the clip? We need the clip of Jay Williams defending Wemby. Because he is so much, he's so much more eloquent than we are when it comes to this stuff at some point. Oh, here we go. I think we got it now. I think we finally found the video. We need to get this bookmarked. Should we save this? We'll save this for the future. Jay Williams defending Wembanyama. We'll make sure to unmute everything so you guys can lock in and hear it here. Oh, wait a second. We didn't actually unmute the video. Going head-to-head with Kendrick Perkins. Pause. Hey, yo. Okay, should we replay? Jay Williams defending Wembanyama, but also sweeping criticisms of society as well, too.
I've gotten bowled before from bigs and from guards. And granted, it hasn't come in playoff basketball, KP. But you know what happened when I got bowled in the face? One time
what happened, Jay Williams?
My ass never went down there no more.
Yeah, he stayed away.
I thought twice about every time
they didn't call fouls. They just changed the way they played. They just adjusted the game.
I do think that sometimes we forget because of how sensitive our society is and how everything has to be catered to. And
there we go, Chad. Jay Williams, get him.
It's the wrong thing for him to do because he jeopardizes.
Get him, Jay Williams. Hey,
they
yo.
gotta win.
Society, so everybody out there is so sensitive. Hey, everything got to be catered to you, Chad. Wemby, oh, look at that. He should have gone for. Jay Williams out here like Thor, Chad, or like Thanos, I guess. Out here like Thanos. He should have gone for the head. Pause. Hey, yo. I think Jay Williams goes on to say that he should have thrown another elbow.
Michael Jordan did stuff like this.
Hey, yo. It's just how society, how everything has to be catered to us. Chad, that's right. Tell him, Jay Williams, 2028. Society, no sensitive society in 2028. Jay Williams is in charge.
It was the wrong thing for him
I guess
to
what
do
happened to
because
the audio, Chad? Did it?
He did.
Maybe it's just my own.
They were up 2-1, and now Minnesota believes they can get a win.
It is.
Even though Minnesota had a chance.
I gotta hear him, Chad.
Without Wemby on the court. But at some point, as a grown man,
stand up for yourself.
Or as a player, you gotta draw.
This is just life lessons for Jay Williams.
I'm not saying that it's automatically going to lead to Nas Reed not continuing to do that, but Shaq did stuff like this.
And Shaq can do it. Wemby can do it.
Isaiah Thomas did stuff like this.
Isaiah Thomas, feisty Isaiah Thomas.
Players in the game who had a nasty side to them.
Perk probably did it too. Pause. Whoa.
For it. So I'm not going to sit up here on national TV and tell y'all that Mitch Johnson's wrong. Because honestly, I believe he's right. Now, I don't want to see Wemby do that again and subject himself to being suspended from a game.
That is true.
Games. He has to be smart.
So that's why you need to throw two elbows at that point, because you can't throw a second elbow later.
You're going to stand up for yourself. And I'm damn right happy he stood up for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, I stand on that message, Chad. That's Jay Williams. I approve of this message. Wemby should stand up for himself, like he's saying. So, again, if anybody that passionately has Wemby's back, whoa, hey, yo, that's a pause. But, Jay Williams, again, with the passionate defense.
But you know what happened when I got bowled in the face? One time by Shaq. My ass never went down there no more.
Chad, again, like he said, he never took a layup again in his career.
I'm not condoning
Jay Williams turned into Ben Simmons after an elbow. Nas Reed should just stay away from the paint. is the lesson.
Because of how sensitive our society is.
Sensitive,
how
yeah!
Everything has to be catered to and extra
catered to, chat. There we go.
It was the wrong thing
Jay Williams
because he
laying the
yeah,
hammer to society, chat.
They got to win.
Hey, that's Duke education right
believes
there.
They can get a win.
That's because he was probably, obviously, Ivy League, essentially. He is able to step back and look at society in a big picture way, because he did go to Duke like that. But shout out Jay Williams, call in anytime Jay Williams wants to criticize society. Hey yo, I guess he's got a should we look up Jay Williams' number and call him? Hey yo, chat. Hey yo, I don't know. But maybe we should DM him and let him know we really agreed with his take on society. We do think society, chat, everything's got to be catered to him. Hey, yo, they're out here catering flagrant fouls to everybody. Nas Reed getting flagrant fouls just catered to him. Hey, yo, it is what it is. He should. Did he even go unconscious, chat? Hey, yo, did he even go cold? Oh, chat. Hey, yo, Wemby. I guess you're not going that crazy, but again, Rudy Tomjanovich got punched in the face, and they just mopped up the game and kept going. Hey, yo, did they? I guarantee you they played the rest of that game. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'm not even gonna look it up because it probably can't even be played. But Rudy Tomjanovich he coached Hakeem, is really what he's known for. I think he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame because of that. Played at the University of Michigan as a player, but then played for Houston as well too, and got punched in the face by a guy named Kermit Washington while he was playing. And the quote was, I don't know exactly who said this. This is a quote, and this is one of these quotes. It sticks with you when you hear it. So be prepared, chat. I'm warning you right now. We need to put up caution. This you won't forget this quote. It's one of those things you're like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. But again, maybe hey yo, I guess but I guess every fight's not like this as well too. But the description that I remember hearing, again, I don't remember who said it. I just remember the description was he said it was like a watermelon burst when Kermit Washington punched Rudy Tomjanovich in the face. So again, there hasn't, and I really haven't Zapruder film 4K done the let me look up the Rudy Tomjanovich injury. I haven't gone so I don't know if there is a good again, I say that respectfully, if there is a clear angle of what actually the injury damage was in the moment. But I mean, it sounds like a watermelon exploding is insane, just getting popped in the face. And there are times obviously where if you open hand smack a guy or something, hey yo, if Chris Rock I guess that is an example though. That is an example. The Will Smith slap is a good example of, and Chris Rock was also mic'd up as well too. So you've got whatever lapel situation is probably gonna be close to whatever it's gonna be close to the jawline that got hit, so it's gonna it's gonna be crisp, it's gonna pick that up. It is what it is. But an open hand smack, sometimes you can pop somebody just right where it's volume. Hey yo, maybe that's not always on the, or it's just you can just hear it as well too. Hey yo, and I guess we kind of say maybe that's not always the face as well. But and sometimes it's just sound. Sometimes it's not. Hey yo, but maybe it was one of those situations where again there was extra sound involved than there was ultimately just because you see obviously Rudy Tomjanovich, he's not Harvey Dent now. He can go out and about. It's not like Rudy Tomjanovich is walking around flipping a coin, being like, am I gonna call am I going to sub him in or sub him out, flip a coin? Hey, yo, heads or tails? Which, I guess, we did just watch No Country for Old Men. I think we mentioned that recently. But I don't remember. Was it on the Technical Difficulty live stream? It might have been. But not that we watched it, that we mentioned it. But so I guess we're going to mention it a couple more times, reference it. But either way, Bardem is, speaking of the Batman, it really is just, he's just let me just mash up all the Batman villains and just make them one character. He's like, I'm going to be pale like Mr. Freeze and the Penguin. And the Joker. I'm going to act like the Joker. I'm going to flip a coin like Harvey Dent. It's just Gotham City rolled into one, chat. Hey, yo. I'm what's impressive here? Because that is one of those portrayals that does get in the, you'll be one of the greatest villains of all time, Bardem versus Heath Ledger. I think 21st century villains, that's pretty That's pretty good. Hey, yo, Coleman Domingo is Joe Jackson, chat. Hey, okay, what are we doing? But J.K. Simmons is that guy in Whiplash. He's kind of a jerk as well, too. I mean, hey, yo, I haven't seen that full movie in a long time, but I did see a couple clips of that recently, and I'm like, what do we, I get, is this an empowering story? Like, this guy's just a jerk. Hey, yo. Like, there is, like, it's like Bobby Knight at some point. Like, okay, Bobby Knight, it is cool that Bobby Knight won a lot. There was also not everybody else. Like, I guess there probably was somebody else that was more mean than Bobby Knight. But it's like, everybody else as successful as Bobby Knight was not as mean as Bobby Knight. Like, it's like the Jordan thing as well, too. I guess, in some ways, like, you have to be as mean as Jordan to be, it's like, do you? LeBron's a nice guy. Oh, chat, we're back to the LeBron compliments. It is what it is. But is that not part I mean, that's how you're in the argument with somebody. When you've made every point that you can possibly make, LeBron's a nice guy, and Jordan never had liked his teammates, and Jordan just showed up there. It's like, well, Jordan was competitive, and Jordan had the mentality, Mama. He was the first ever with Mama mentality. If it rhymed, then, if he had a nickname for it, it would be cooler. But he didn't have a nickname, so now he's just mean. But, again, it's not like, there is obviously a drive. There is a competitiveness. There doesn't always, I think, have to be a step on people-ness as well, too. I guess, are we saying that Jordan did that? I guess he did just in terms of just going through the playoffs. Like, hey, you're, again, the competitiveness of that. You're just eliminating people from the playoffs. But, yeah, in terms of, I don't even really know. What are we saying about Jordan LeBron at this point, Chad? What kind of, we're just turning into Jay Williams now. Now we're making random cultural criticisms on points that don't matter. Hey, yo. Just because society, now it's like, oh, LeBron, society's, he grew up, he played basketball in a society that's weak and catered. It is what it is. Everybody's trying to get rich quick these days, shooting three-pointers. Everybody wants all the money right away. Everybody wants all the points right away. Hey, yo. How many different, probably quite a bit, Chad. I think society is reflected quite well, honestly, through the NBA. We're biased, but is the NBA the best reflection of society that we have? Is it the best snapshot of society? It might be, honestly, because it feels like the best intersection of sports and culture, just all of popular culture. In a way, because there just is literally like an interaction with it that you don't get in other sports. I feel like people have made this point before, like, you have the celebrities on the court, but that does matter in a way. Leo's right there on the court. Hey, yo. Michael B. Jordan sitting courtside at the game. Like, hey, yo. That's pretty cool. Timothy Chalamet. You have actors and musicians, but again, it's the crossover. It feels like the industry crossover. It feels like the NBA, again, is industry. It feels like some guys in the NFL are industry in some ways. And, especially now with the money that NBA makes, the NBA is increasingly becoming more industry. But the NFL doesn't quite have the per salary basis for every player, and every player is just not as famous as well, too. Again, some of the quarterbacks definitely are. Like, you could say, like, Joe Burrow is definitely high. Again, there's a handful of guys, but it's just the numbers games of it as well, too. But I would say that there are just more famous people in the NBA than there are in the NBL, the NFL, definitely in the NBL, the New Zealand Basketball League, definitely, at least around here. I guess in New Zealand they probably have some good famous people, but around here, at least, when they had LaMelo, that would have been the American fame person that we would have known about. It is what it is. But what did Jay Williams? Everybody's going overseas to get success. People are leaving. Basketball players are leaving the country. That means America's falling apart. Nobody wants to be in America. Again, I don't know. We need to like a Jay Williams AI that's like, what is the cultural criticism of this basketball game? Like Cade Williams. Cade Cunningham misses a lot. What is this? What is Cade Cunningham? Or what is it, Edwards? What does Anthony Edwards not making the All-NBA team say about society? Hey, yo. I guess, we tread lightly. But either way, is that where we go to break, Chad? I don't think that's where we can go to break. But I guess, hey, yo. It is what it is. I guess shout out to Jay Williams for his defensive one. But we still got more news to continue to work through as we, hopefully bounce back stronger than ever from these technical difficulties that we've been having. So, I mean, we're still going tonight, chat. If you're locked in, thank you guys for joining us. We will be right back right after this. Testing 1, 2, 3. There we are. We are back, and we are just chowing down on a fruit bowl over here. Whoa. Hey, yo, do we have to show it now just to clarify? Okay, we are good to go. Get a little strawberry grape situation. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Now we're chewing. Oh, check the aces. Let's go. WNBA corner to start the back. Hey, I'll start the back is crazy. But the Connecticut Sun, of course, in their last season in Connecticut, unfortunately, just, I guess, ready to move. It is what it is, starting off 0-2. 1-1 for the Aces. Strong bounce back after, getting absolutely crushed in the first game. So now it feels like we only acknowledge when we win. Hey, yo, that would be crazy, chat. That would be crazy. But fortunately, they're winning tonight. So it caught our attention. It is what it's. I was like, oh, hey, yo, good night to him. Kennedy Carter, 14 points off the bench. Hey, yo, was that the person that was beating up Caitlin Clark and then got ejected for it, and now all of a sudden she's better than Caitlin Clark? Hey, yo, what are we saying? But, hey, yo, shout out our guy Van Lathan, another Ringer Pod shout out tonight. But our guy, chat, hey, yo, we just mean like our guy in our podcast rotation that, we like listening to, obviously best in the business, but he said on, I think it was this last episode of Higher Learning, that he had a nickname for Caitlin Clark, and he was thinking about, I don't even know if we can say it, chat. It's, both, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, we can't say it, but it's just, it's just such a clever nickname. He said he was going to start calling her Madam Morrison, which, for those that don't know, of course, Adam Morrison was an NBA draft prospect that maybe didn't quite have the draft career, the NBA career that unfortunately his draft status would have implied. So Adam Morrison's pretty good. And Adam Morrison did have, obviously a great college career, but that 4-year college impact Final Four run came up short, not came up short, but, the team just didn't quite like win a national title as well too. Caitlin Clark again, ran into some big obstacles there as well. What was it, LSU? No, they got the win over LSU, right? Lost to South Carolina both times maybe, or once. I'm not exactly remembering the full, course of the run there. But either way, Madam Morrison is crazy. It's very clever, and we gotta give shout outs for that. But the Pistons, hey yo, going into halftime, trying to put a little separation back between them and the Cavs. They are now up by 11 and 20 points off of turnovers, chat. Hey yo, do the Cavs even care? I mean, who would have thought a James Harden team maybe struggled with effort in a, an important playoff game? Hey, yo, chat. I didn't expect us to be going there, but it's our own frustration. It's our own frustration because we have been pro James Harden for so many years. That doesn't sound like it after that statement, but I mean, I love watching his offensive game back when he was on the Rockets. Hey, yo. I mean, that was obviously the peak of his powers, and that's the best time to watch the highlights. But that player was very, very captivating to watch. Obviously, controversial, to say the least, in terms of style of play, in terms of entertainment value, I should say. Not everybody thought that Harden was the most entertaining guy. But I thought that the way that he approached offense, was very simple in a way that was, again, both captivating to watch, but also felt weirdly translatable as well too. Like, it was just these simple between the leg dribble setups, and then the way he would get the guy leaning, and then his ability to react and attack off of that. Again, James Harden, an incredible first step, incredibly quick handle, and his change of direction as well too. Like, him athletically at the peak of his powers. Again, there is a reason he was getting by guys to get to the basket. Like, he was incredibly shifty. So I'm not saying that, comparatively to the guy that's guarding me in the park, I'm going to, James Harden out athleticism. But I am saying that the dribble combos that he did, string together, there was something about those that you're like, okay, you can kind of see how that can be interpreted. Again, a lot of this other stuff is, but like pick and roll basketball, you can definitely translate that for sure. But, that's different. That's like a cheat code, chat. Hey, yo, in the park, I mean, you know, pick and rolls, hey, yo, you're never going to actually, if you're running 5-on-5s, I guess that's what it is. Like, you have to really be running 5s, I think, to run pick. If you run, like, a pick and roll in a 3-on-3 game, hey, yo. I mean, like, you can definitely do it, but it's like, what are we doing? Like, you guys can't score on your own? So, like, that's, you know, if you want to be able to score on your own, if you want to be able to, you know, play with the, you know, pause, I don't know, hang with the, you know, pros or so, I don't know. But, you know, if you want to, you know, if you want to score, I think scoring, you know, I mean, we can be honest, Chad, scoring on your own is cooler than, you know, scoring off a pick and roll. It is what it is. You can break a guy down one-on-one off the dribble, that's way better. So Harden definitely, you know, had the game plan for that in his Houston days. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, the playoff success hasn't really worked out. And I don't really see him as, you know, again, what are we saying about his career? But, you know, again, he's just moved into a different phase at this point. He's moved into a different phase of his career, and unfortunately, I don't know if he will have a chance to make right, like, the legacy of him as the number one guy. Again, I can always just kind of assume that, you know, yes, you could have definitely had won the title with James Harden as your best player. Like, you know, again, there are definite, well, you know, hey, yo, Chad. Hey, yo. I mean, you know, the basketball talent, yes, who can deny that? Yes, the basketball talent for sure. Again, the numbers offensively, maybe the field goal percentages were, you know, enough off of, like, where Michael Jordan is at, where, you know, again, Shea is at. Like, you know, it seems crazier to say. It does seem crazier to say. I think that Shea is, like, a better, you know, that Shea is a closer offensive player to Michael Jordan, or, you know, that it seems crazier to say that Shea is a more impactful offensive player than James Harden was back then. But he kind of might be, because, one, he makes shots in the fourth quarter, but just that efficiency as well, too, over the course of a game is going to mathematically be an advantage that, you know, again, you're especially a high-volume, low-efficient three-point shooter, you know, it is sort of the Luka, like, the similar situation to where Luka is at right now versus, you know, are we saying now James Harden over Luka from back in the day? So James Harden, Shea, James Harden, and Luka, is that the ranking of those three guys? But it kind of might be, because Shea has won one MVP. He might win a second. James Harden has won one MVP, and Luka hasn't. So, you know, it kind of, again, it would kind of seem like, in some ways, you know, and again, obviously, there reasons for this. You know, are we uncovering secrets of basketball media? But, you know, in some ways, it would have seemed like Luka was the guy that was talked about the most of those three guys. And then maybe James Harden, and then maybe Shea. So it almost might be reversed in terms of the actual hype order of those three. Like we're saying, where Shea's legacy is actually just at this point, number one. I mean, again, his title win, like, it seems crazy to say that Shea has had a better career than James Harden. I mean, I'm saying that for myself. I'm saying that it seems crazy to me to say that Shea has had that. But, you know, again, I don't know if I can say that I'm wrong if that was the conclusion that I would make. You know, hey, yeah, I guess how often, you know, do we tell yourselves that you're wrong? But 4-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA for Shea. So, you know, starting to pile up a little bit at this point. Obviously, you know, I'm assuming James Harden's going to be like 8, 9 at this point. Maybe 7 All-NBAs, 10 All-Stars, something like that. So a good handful more. 11 All-Stars, 8 All-NBAs. So if he's double the All-NBAs and triple the All-Stars, again, you say that and you're like, you know, James Harden's obviously better. Does it matter if Shea has a title and James Harden doesn't? Like, you know, again, I say this with all due respect. I'm just posing the question. You know, I guess will I be the bad guy that poses the question? Would you rather right now have these 17 seasons of James Harden's career, or the 8 seasons that we've gotten of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's career? You know, the half the career mark as well too. You know, again, would you take, I guess it'd be a little bit more extreme, you know, would you take 8 years of Mahomes versus, you know, Aaron Rodgers' career or whatever? You know, again, Mahomes 3 Super Bowls to Rodgers 1, but, you know, only one title for Shea versus 0 for James Harden. And I guess he did make the finals, of course, in OKC as well too. We definitely can't, you know, discredit him for that year, because he was definitely, you know, also obviously was the main reason. Well, not the main, but, you know, he was one of the main reasons that they made the finals. But I mean, him in that Spurs series, him against the Spurs just in general in OKC was, you know, obviously pretty terrifying. In some ways, do you say the most terrifying of the three? But maybe weirdly to Spurs fans, more terrifying than Westbrook as well too. I don't know how many fan bases have memories of like, this is what our memory of competing against these three guys is like, but I think Durant probably against all of them is going to be number one. It is what it is, especially that version of Durant back then, early OKC Durant. I mean, hey, yo, that guy was 32 a game a night, but OKC Durant, OKC James Harden, and then OKC Westbrook might be the Spurs fans ranking. I'm not sure. We're gonna Spurs fans call in. We're gonna have to get a consensus about that and see what is going on. But again, I think you could make the case. I think you could make the case that the careers are already pretty close at this point. But either way, any opportunity like this is because it happened with Chris Paul a little bit as well too. Chris Paul on that Suns team was definitely pretty close to as important as he was on those Clippers teams. As I'm thinking about this now, what if that Clippers team would have played that Suns team? I feel like that Clippers team might have won against that Suns team. I don't know. Would Ayton have shut down DeAndre Jordan? But then who stops Griffin? And then Chris Paul against himself is like a Gemini Man scenario. I don't know. But J.J. Redick versus Devin Booker? Okay, never mind. Phoenix is back, chat. It is what it is. Phoenix wins. But, again, Chris Paul was like a fairly decent, I'm saying that dramatically, but like a fairly decent version of his best self there in Phoenix. And, they were able to make the finals. It still kind of gives that legitimacy to him being that championship level guy. Again, like Charles Barkley, as they're at halftime right now for Pistons versus Cavs. Like Charles Barkley, of course, classic, made fun of for no rings situation. I hate to even bring it up. But he did take a team to the finals and lost to, Michael Jordan. So, again, it's difficult to say that you can't win a ring with Charles Barkley. It's more like Charles Barkley didn't win a ring that year against Michael Jordan. But he proved that he can get a team to the title. And, again, the one guy that he lost to is the guy that we say is the greatest player of all time. And part of the reason he's the greatest player of all time is because he wins the finals against people like Charles Barkley as well, too. That's part of the argument. It, can't be, it's like, oh, Jordan played the most stacked era, but then Barkley also sucks because he never won a finals. So it's like, wait, which one is it? Which one is it? Because Barkley is the reason that Jordan played in the most stacked era. Like, I guess Jordan is the reason, that Jordan played the most stacked, but Barkley is also the reason. And Hakeem. And, the Jazz. And all those guys. Chat, we're almost done with the fruit bowl here. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're working our way through it. But, Charles, it's too addicting. Hey, yo. It is what it is. And we got a salad over there as well, too. That, hey, yo. We might start working on that one next. Pause. Hey, yo. And we're going to take a shot of the juice, chat. Oh, no. Okay. Welcome in, chat. We're just hanging out. It is what it is. But, you can't let that go bad, right? In times like this, you can't be wasteful. Hey, yo. We got to eat it all, chat. Whoa! Whoa! I was just talking about what was left on our dinner plate there. But, I mean, if the shoe wits ferret, oh, chat, we were, I guess that was my don't be a menace in the South Central version of James Bond right there. Where I was like almost being charming and then I just got the words mixed up. It's like, oh, I guess is that probably wasn't very charming to say, you gotta eat the whole thing. But, we start with some smooth talk, and then if the woo fits fairy or whatever we say, I don't know. But, if the shoe fits wear is what we meant to say. Again, it was a eat the whole thing joke. It is what it is. Hey, yo, it's a pause. It's not. It's all good. It is what it is. But what are we even saying? James Harden versus Shea, chat? Whoa. Hey, yo. James Harden versus the Pistons. James Harden versus Cade. Hey, yo. It is, Barkley, the greatest era. That's right, the greatest era. But that's the point. The point is it can't be the greatest era, but then these guys can't be bad as well, too. Like Clyde, nobody gives Clyde his respect. Hey, yo. Everybody's out here saying that Clyde, Clyde, would he get cooked today? Bringing up Devin Booker. I guess, I don't know. I feel like, people like Clyde, right? he's not necessarily remembered poorly. Hey, I guess, not poorly, not whatever. But, again, there's a reason that the 90s was so stacked. It was crazy. It was crazy. So, and James Harden has had one of, if I can say respectfully, the best non-title careers in the NBA. But I guess to bring it back to what we were saying about Chris Paul as well too. Like these years are important to have these guys. Bill Walton had that year for the Celtics later in his career, like a 6-man type of run. Was that the 86 Celtics? It might have been. Where, and he did also have the run in 77 as well too. We all remember 77 Walton here, don't we, chat? But, our guy Bill Walton, rest in peace, obviously legend in the booth and on the court, definitely the other way around. But, obviously was a peak of his powers, best player in the league type of guy in the 70s. Awesome career at UCLA before that, setting him up for that. But when he went to Boston later on, he was still an impact guy off the bench and won titles, and it was big for his career. And, it was just obviously a legacy thing. So, again, would James Harden have, would it have been nice in someone? It wouldn't have been nice, I guess, which title are we going to give the Rockets there, right? But I guess the Raptors title, they could have had the Kawhi title. Because that was the one where Curry did kind of take that one in Game 6, right, from Houston. He took the Western Conference from Houston anyways. So if the Warriors weren't going to win the title anyways, and if the Spurs weren't going to win the title, we would be so petty against Kawhi that year that I definitely would have rather have had James Harden won the title that year. That's crazy that I would have rather have had the Rockets won a title than Kawhi Leonard. That year he got traded. And looking back, I think still maybe. Hey, it is what it is. We retroactively would take away Kawhi's title. You bet, chat. You bet. He took from us. We're going to take from him. Hey, it is what it is. We're taking the title. We're taking the finals MVP. We're going into the buzzer beater. We're swatting it out. It is what it is. I guess they still probably have to call a goaltend, or we get like some type of technical foul situation. It probably doesn't work out. The only way to really do it is pause. I don't know. We have to note or not get him into the. I don't know, Chad. How do you possibly stop that? Get him into foul trouble? Foul him out before that game or before that play is essentially the right moment. Maybe you have to hit a couple more free throws earlier in the game. It's probably the ripple effects of the game itself that you have to go figure out. Okay, can we get in the timeline where Philly plays a great game and just doesn't have to worry about anything, and then wins Game 7, and then what that does for Embiid's career as well too, chat. Hey, they gotta let us write the script. The script would be so much better. Embiid would have a title instead of Kawhi. Hey, what do we just say? James Harden would have a title then. I guess neither of those guys. That would have been the finals though. The finals for us that year definitely would have been Rockets Sixers though if we were writing the script. Again, probably not as good of ratings as Raptors Warriors because you do have one of the major market teams there in the Warriors, and the Raptors as well too. I mean, we definitely can't underestimate how invested I almost said the city of Canada. We can't underestimate how invested the country of Canada was at that time. The nation of Canada. I feel like that's the proper way to say it. Country for some reason that feels too small. Hey, pause. To say the nation of Canada, I feel like that's the more appropriate term. Hey, Chad, our soon-to-be new home. No, I don't know if Canada is an upgrade. I guess I don't know if any. Maybe a lot of countries are the upgrade at this point. Do we have to go? Are the feds gonna show up to our door if we go to the Gemini right now? Hey, what countries are better than the United States? Hey, it is what it is. There's definitely got to be some, there's got to be some corporate situation. It's like this is like Luxembourg. It's like this isn't even a country. This is just like a corporate bank. It's just like a bank offshoot that people are living at. It's like, hey, like nothing happens here because nothing happens here. Again, it's just a bank and a gas station and a couple other things go. Like, what else is going on? I guess Luxembourg's a beautiful country. It's not like, sometimes maybe some of them we're just projecting like some of the, you just go in like to a Midwest town and you're like, okay, there's like one farm there and there's a gas station and a farm and a subway and like a bank and a library and there's no houses. And I don't know how these things stay in business and who works here and why are we going here? But the land is like, no wonder the land's cheap. There's nothing. I have to buy all the land and develop it all because there's nothing out here. I have to develop it for all my friends. But yes, I guess that's how it works, right? That's how pioneering in this country works in 2026. Hey, yo, corporate pioneering, the days of corporate pioneering. Hey, I guess it's not corporate pioneering, but in the way that I guess corporations have always been taken. We're back in our Jay Williams chat. Hey, yo, everybody's taking free throws these days. People just want to land and territory. I don't know. People are so obsessed with resources. They're just drawing fouls all over the place like Shay. Hey, it's like, okay. Hey, yo. But I guess, some of the stuff is, I guess, might be, if Jay Williams is really taking on some of the issues, then that might be it. But, so this could be like a soft launch for, again, Jay Williams' political career, the Wemby rants. It definitely is favorite rant so far of 2026. It's definitely not an award that we've given out in the past, but we're giving it out at the end of the year, and I'm just letting you know right now, because we have to tell Polymarket anyways. So I'm just going to let you know before you see it on the Polymarket that Jay Williams is the favorite with the Wemby rant, and it's going to be tough to beat. It's going to be, Jay Williams says Wemby is top 5 after winning finals. Like that's the rant that can basically top this one. Hey, yo. Wemby reflects problems on society as about as good as you get. What superstar can we say that on, Chad? Well, hey, yo, I guess LeBron obviously is that the role model citizen. Hey, he's just a role model. That's it. That's all he is. But I guess in terms of, has he ever had a flagrant foul that has brought to the forefront such poignant issues as sensitivity and catering, Chad? Hey, yo. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened. I mean, I guess has LeBron ever had a flagrant? He's definitely been tossed out of a game or two. I know he has been ejected, but I don't know if he's ever been because of a flagrant. It might have been because of 2 technicals. It might be because he got double teed up. But I was thinking about this as Wemby as well too. Ayo, I guess back to Wemby. Pause. But I was thinking, maybe it's too early. Again, the Spurs haven't even completed this playoff run. But can Wemby be the greatest Spur of all time if he got thrown out of a playoff game? Tim Duncan never got thrown out of a playoff game. So I know what happened early, and you hate to say in his first playoff run that he's already neutralized himself. Pause. But and like we said in the past, if he goes on and wins 3 titles, Tim Duncan still had 5. So but it's a different measuring stick. Pause. Hey, yo. It's more about the oh, Jet, I almost said it's more about the girth of his career than the length of his career. It is what it is. Can he really stack the accolades in a short amount of time? I guess is the question. Hey, yo. Again, but that's what I almost said. IT, cut that out. That's disgusting. That's why we self-censored that. But either way, for Wemby, again, it is I guess Duncan did get thrown out of that game that Joey Crawford threw him out of, but it wasn't a playoff game. Duncan would never. Tim Duncan would never. Ginobili would never. Ayo. So as much as we love Wemby, it is what it is. I mean, I almost said they're like a 90s movie. Duncan did play in the 90s, like a 2000 movie. It's like that first Iron Man. The Spurs Big 3 is like the first Iron Man, where it's like, is Winter Soldier, but maybe nothing in the MCU is better than the first Iron Man. You realize how much of a waste, I hate to say it as an adult now, but you realize how much of a waste the rest of the MCU is, chat. There's really one movie that matters, and it's Iron Man. It is what it is. I mean, again, and I hate to say it about the Avengers movies. The Avengers movies are good. For sure, like there's quality all throughout, and I gotta be like Black Panther as well too. Obviously Black Panther, but in terms of just the older quality of Iron Man, because again it's 2008. Black Panther is a decade later in 2018. Black Panther is a newer looking movie, and it is the best superhero movie in that sense. But Iron Man is almost not a superhero movie, in a way. Like the Iron Man, and this is almost, again, not even the old, like it's some, the practicality of some of the stuff back then as well too, like just the way they were able to integrate like the Iron Man suit into the world. Like again, the world is not a superhero world at that point. And I guess Wakanda is a little bit of an exception as well too. Like Wakanda's so technologically advanced that, you know, again, that society is just going to be like on the on screen of that is going to be, you know, again, it's going to be different than, you know, even like Tony Stark's upgraded American mansion as well. You know, there's no vibranium in the American mansion that Tony Stark, you know, it's still going to be, there's still a groundedness to Iron Man. And, you know, obviously Black Panther does have those moments as well too, where you do see the storylines in Oakland, and you do see some of Killmonger's background play out. And obviously, you know, Coogler is, again, in terms of crafting like a big superhero spectacle, like that's, you know, again, about as good. The only other, you know, like a lane in that is going to be Nolan with sort of the high action lane. Like you have Coogler taking sort of an elevated story lane, and then Nolan taking an elevated action lane. And both of them, I mean, are equally as good. Hey, if I had to pick between the DVD, I don't even know, Chad. I'd pick a different DVD just because I couldn't choose between those two. It's like, what's a third? Where's Too Fast, Too Furious at? Just give me that one. That one feels more, yeah, that's just an easier choice. Hey, yo. But, you know, again, like that's about it. But Iron Man is obviously a superhero movie because it's Iron Man. And he is in the Iron Man suit a bit, for sure. But, you know, again, it's a Tony Stark movie. It's a RDJ vehicle. Hey, yo, you know, all three of the Iron Mans are pretty decent in that way. I guess I have to go back to Iron Man 2. Iron Man 3 is obviously, that's a classic for sure. You know, I think that has, in the Marvel community, you know, definitely had the second life sort of boost. You know, maybe I feel like for a while it was at the bottom of the rankings, and now it's like, you know, Iron Man 3 is like kind of settled, you know, maybe mid, you know, upper half of the MCU rankings. But, you know, again, and especially, you know, again, just all Doctor Strange. Like, Doctor Strange is a good movie. I like Doctor Strange. But it's like, and, you know, again, I don't want to take away the progress of a movie like Black Panther. I'm just saying the cinematic experiment of it all, the IP-ness of what that franchise became. And again, you know, obviously I wasn't worried about that in the moment. And I'm not really worried about the MCU being the IP thing of it all. It's more just, again, with the industry effect of it, where it's like, okay, you know, we're remaking everything. You know, obviously everything's a remake now. Everything is, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, again, that's not even a problem if you have that. It's just like we have no original movies whatsoever. Hey, yo. Again, even Nolan is now just doing historical events. His last three are now all I guess Tenet's a historical event, right? That really happened. But 3 of his last 4 are based off of real life. And again, outside of Batman, before that he wasn't basing anything off of real life. Hey, yo. But what do you have? Memento, Prestige. What's the one that he did with Pacino? Hey, he did a Pacino one, right? We need to go revisit that one. That's not The Insider, is it? It's not The Insider. It's not the press. We just had the Prestige. The Prestige is with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. We'll guess it, chat. We'll guess it. Ayo. It's not The Recruit. I think that's Pacino and Colin Farrell. Hey, yo. Which one's Morgan Freeman and Cusack? Is that The Contract? Hey, yo. What is Pacino and Nolan? That is kind of the lost. Oh, Insomnia. It's Insomnia. Hey, yo, is that Russell Crowe too? So, you know, is Insomnia based off of a real event? I don't think so. I think that's kind of a twisty one. And, you know, I guess there were, you know, I almost said musicians. Hey, yo, there were magicians. Is Bobby Altoff in the room? You know, there were magicians back in the day. So I guess it's based off of some, you know, again, there is, obviously it's based off of something. But, again, now even Nolan is going the historical route. So, you know, again, outside of literally Kugler and horror, but even in the horror, like the horror guys have all gone, you know, IP as well too. Because who is it? Is it Krieger? I forget what IP he is doing. Is it Resident Evil? Because there's an Evil Dead movie dropping. I don't know too much about that franchise, but I know, you know, Evil Dead name sounds familiar. And Resident Evil's a video game, I think. So, you know, I think, you know, Krieger's adapting that IP, which is cool. And, you know, again, if it's like the first time seeing it on screen, like that is new in some ways as well. But it's like, you know what people loved? People loved Weapons. You know, he did Barbarian too, right? Which I did just watch. I watched the foreign language version of it, but guess what? You know the movie's good when it's. I didn't even have to understand what they're saying, and it still worked. I mean, I guess I do have to admit, I will admit this. I will say it with 100% honesty. I knew the twist of the movie going in. I'm not even going to say the twist. I didn't know what happened afterwards, but I did know the twist of the movie. I almost hate saying that there's a twist because, again, you watch the movie now going, you know, in a different sort of what's going to happen mentality. You know, you watch it. Most movies, again, you're watching with, and that's the fun of a twist, but, you know, you're watching with that sort of linear mentality. But when you know that there even is a twist approaching, you just are all of a sudden in that investigative mode of like, okay, who is it? Where is it? What's going on? You know, how's it going to happen? And, you know, it's been a couple years out. I hadn't seen it. It had dropped in conversation at one point. You know, it's one of those things where you just have to kind of admit defeat at that point. You're like, hey, yo, you know, I didn't see it and it got dropped in conversation. And it's like, I'm not going to shut down the whole, I'm not going to be the one guy like, let's halt this whole thing because I haven't seen Barbarian yet. I guess I could be. But in that moment, it's like, you know what else I could have been? I could have been the guy that watched Barbarian when it dropped and then not have to worry about it. So, you know, again, I'm not going to, you know, hey, what person do you want to be, Chad? What person do you want to be? And I said, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to, you know, not have seen the Barbarian twist in the moment. It is what it is. And you know what? I was fine with it as well, too. You know, watching it, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, yo, I guess that's not a spoiler for what twist. And guys, I didn't know what was happening afterwards or really why the twist, you know, like why it would have happened. So there was still that mystery of like, you know, needing to see the rest of the story. But for the, you know, again, for that guy as a writer, like those original movies were the ones that were being well received. And I'm sure, you know, I guess like we're saying, even Nolan did go to IP as Batman. So, you know, because he did it so well, we're calling it original content is basically the argument. But, you know, again, hey, yo, you know, somebody drop an original movie. Toy Story 5, what do we got? I guess there might be something. I'm just not remembering it. You know, I guess we did have, you know, we did just have that Zendaya, you know, Pattinson movie. You know, obviously had some controversial storylines, some twisty stuff. But again, you know, you do have to, like, there is something encouraging, you know, if I can tread lightly, there is something encouraging about a movie like that being dropped. It's like there's a risk being taken. You know, there's a chance being taken. And that is the fun of going back and watching so many movies in the 80s and the 90s. And, you know, I guess in the 2000s, honestly, it does start to get lost. Like, there is, of course, great movies. So, like, Training Day is a great movie. And Training Day is a great concept as well, too. But Training Day is not, like, a risky concept. You know, of course, in the 2000s, a lot of, you know, kind of the, you know, sexier thriller type stuff, energy, of course, is not really in the same sort of, you know, in movies the same sort of way as well, too, the way it was in the 80s and the 90s. But still, even speaking of a movie like Purple Rain, just like we were talking about earlier, an artist like Prince, like, you know, just an artist taking that kind of risk in 2025. But, you know, the artist, just everybody being willing to say, like, you know, like, screw it, let's just drop a movie like this. Like, I guess not to say that it's a who cares mentality, but just in the fact that it's, you know, just that the IP stuff is so front focused. And it's like, they still are making original movies as well, too. Like, we can't say that is not happening. Like, you know, the indie film scene, you know, smaller budget movies, all different stuff. Like, you know, there are great original, but just obviously the mainstream of it all. And again, like, that is what the, you know, at the end of the day, the audience do want good movies, but that is what the audience wants as well, too, because those risks are usually what leads to, you know, entertainment as well. You know, entertainment and quality, you know, it is a weird thing. It is a weird thing. You know, I was just watching Cocktail on Tubi the other day. You know, with Tom Cruise, it's like that, you know, that movie is not a good movie, but that movie's an entertaining movie. And there is something about, you know, the movie's trying to, you know, it's saying something. Again, it's a unique approach with, like, the setting of it being bartenders and the, obviously, you know, the movie, it being a movie star role, or a vehicle anyways. You know, you do have to get a movie star like Cruise in that as well. So there is going to be just, you know, it's part of the Tom Cruise discography, or filmography. But, you know, again, there's just not like that random movie being put out there as much. Like, I guess, what was the other one that we had? Zendaya and Pattinson. There was another one that dropped. Oh, I guess Wuthering Heights is like a original script, adapted from a book. I feel like we do have to give them, it is a separate category, but it is like, it's like minorly offensive. Because, we've been adapting books, obviously. That's been Hollywood the entire time. Hey, for better or worse. Hey, again, that's been, all of movies in some ways have been adapting books. So it's like now we're going to get to 2026 and it's like, well, we're adapting books. It's like, that's actually good. Like let's adapt a book. Maybe do it one time, maybe two. But, again, maybe, we don't need Wuthering Heights 4. I guess Wuthering Heights is kind of one of those twisting stories from what I was reading. I guess we didn't watch. We did have to, but what's going on here? I guess Chatter, the movie did require a little investigation. It is what it is. Again, we do like to, be journalists and stay on, speaking of Wuthering Heights, stay on top of things. It is what it is. But, again, I guess I don't know what that had to do with Wemby or, Jay Wims. What, there's no, teams chat. Everybody's trading for the same players. There's no original content. You just get the same 5 guys moving around. Maybe that's not the right crossover. It is what it is. But I guess we do have some non-basketball news that we do have to mention as well, because like we did say earlier, we are, of course, I guess at this point, 40, 50, we'll say 52. We're 52 hours away from the Drake album drop, Iceman. But we have had, we've had some moves being made, chat. We have had some moves being made, I guess, by Drake in some ways, but also by Kendrick. I mean, the man is, a petty genius, chat. It is what it is. The man is a petty genius, and I say that with all due respect. Like, his pettiness, the fact that he is as smart as he is and as petty as he is, like, that is just such a deadly combo. That is such a deadly combo. We've never seen anything like this. Like, I guess I don't, assuming you guys know what happened, if you're following the Kendrick things, but if you didn't, if you saw some of the news, he had his latest album, GNX, get pulled down from Apple Music for just a little bit. I think this was Monday that this happened. He had GNX, and then I want to say Euphoria specifically, maybe Spotify as well too, but both of those issues on the streaming services were taken down for a second. And there was a moment as well too that people were, I was reading that people were saying that on Spotify, if you have the album saved into your library, that you still had access to it, but that it wasn't popping up like in his artist page. So I had a moment of panic when I was at work where I was like, wait a second, like, did I not, I thought maybe for a second that Kendrick was doing like a test. That maybe it was some sort of like not test, but like some sort of fandom situation where it was like, or maybe actually what I did think at first was, is he going to drop a deluxe? Like, is he going to re-upload, with a couple new songs or a new issue of the album? He obviously has 2 versions of Good Kid, Mad City on streaming. That's the only one that has a deluxe at this point. He does have other issues of his 2017 album, but he has the collector's edition of that album, so I guess that is a deluxe as well. He doesn't have a deluxe of Mr. Morale. It's a 2-disc album, and he doesn't have a deluxe of To Pimp a Butterfly, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But or Section 80 or Overly Dedicated. But I was thinking maybe because he does of course say double back like a deluxe on the album. So, there was the rumors that might be a possibility. I thought maybe that would be what it would be. But I was like, is he doing some type of crazy fandom test where it's like, hey, if you're like a real one, because this, like, Kendrick would, I feel like, not care enough to do that. Where he's like, I don't care if GNX is one of the 15 most streamed, one of the 10 most streamed rap albums every day right now. He's like, if you don't have it saved into your libraries, you don't get it anymore. He's like, it is what it is. Or you just don't, it's not going to be up there for a while. Like, it's like A$AP Rocky changing the cover art on the album. It's like, hey, can you just unpixelate this album cover after a while? Like, hey, you dropped your album a while ago. Or I guess, the anniversary ended a while ago. But it's like, is this like some GNX Kendrick fan test? And I did check my library, and fortunately I did have it saved. But by the time I checked it in the library, it was also appearing on the artist page as well too. So I was like, it's probably re-uploaded. It's probably not an issue. Euphoria was on there, so it had been, I guess, resolved at that point. It wasn't necessarily too big of a deal. But for Kendrick, at least it did get people noticing something. Like, hey, yo, what's going on here? And then the music videos as well too was the crazy thing, and it is, I guess, back to normal in some ways now. But for a second, again, on Monday, he had reposted Not Like Us and Luther. So he has, the Not Like Us audio that he dropped, of course, initially. And then made the Not Like Us music video afterwards, the Super Bowl announcement. But then it got re-uploaded. So I guess Hot Take, it was over here. But then he had a second edition of Luther as well, too, on the page. So those did, I guess, get taken down. But just like, who would have thought of that? Who would have thought to re-upload the music video diss track for just a second, and the Luther for just to get people reminded again, just to get the thought buzzing? Like, there's, no reason for him to do this. Hey, yo, oh, chat! Did Harden just drop a man? Harden might have just dropped Thompson. Hey, yo. Thompson did an ankle grab, like, oh, my ankle. I think I just hurt my ankle. But he might have. I don't know. Can we get a replay on that? Hey, yo, I guess, like, is the IT for ESPN, are they locked into the live stream? Can they hear us? I don't know. We're just talking like we can. I guess we're talking like we know that they're going to give us a replay. But, did they collide knees? Oh, they did, and then he kind of hyperextended, but I think James Harden kind of got him with some momentum there as well, too. It is what it is. Hey, yo. We've got Cleveland trying to... Oh, Schroeder misses the free throw, though. Cleveland trying to make this a close game, 68-71, with 5 minutes left in the third. But for Kendrick, again, he had really no reason in some ways to do this. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, why, the fact that he still hasn't got there. He still hasn't got there. And I guess if I'm being totally honest as well, too, I'm not saying that I thought that he was in a point to where maybe he had, he was like, the Drake thing had been resolved, per se, where it's like he still doesn't maybe harbor competitive feelings toward Drake. But I did think that maybe, he was viewing the game, viewing his status in the game a little bit differently. Like, maybe, I thought maybe he would get to the point where he wouldn't even be concerned with Drake anymore. Where he's like, I'm above that. And maybe he still thinks that, I'm above that as well, too. But he's like, no, this battle is still not too good for me. He's like, I still can't, I still have to engage as well, too. And, in some ways, it's good, I guess, good for Drake that Kendrick is doing this as well. Because, Drake, for the longest time after the battle, was still trying to get Kendrick to engage. So, again, it's just, it's Kendrick's, it's the whole battle. And, the selectivity, sort of I don't want to just say simply the thought processes at which they move, because I think Drake has been moving a lot, especially since a lot of his moves lately have been just more album focused and album rollout focused. And, again, they've just been, like, that's what we want. We wanted him focusing on the music. And unfortunately, he's just not good at focusing on the beef. It is what it is. Pause. Hey, yo. But he's just, when he gets to focusing on that rap beef, it is what he's, and he took it the legal route as well, too, which was not a good look. But he just gets petty and, again, I don't want to sit here and get too judgmental of the man. Hey, yo. But, he does, there is like a bit of a whiny sort of-ness. Hey, I even hate that I said that. But there is just a bit of a way that he approaches it. That is, and again, like Family Matters, when he is locked in as an artist, hey, yo, this goes to something I'm going to say later that I want to mention. But, when he is locked in as a musician, he is really, really good, obviously. Hot take. Hey, yo, Drake's good at making music. But just unfortunately, as a strategist, as, I don't know if I'm saying as a marketer, but just as a strategist in these battles. Hey, yo, you hate to say it. It is what it is. But Kendrick is just a better, and it was a Drake lyric. What was he say? Like, general in wartime, the vest has so many medals on it or whatever. It's like Kendrick's just a better general than you. It is what it is. Like, you know, you have to focus on winning in a different lane. You're not going to be able to outmove him. And unfortunately, you know, the problem with a song like Not Like Us, and this is the reminder of him dropping the song as well, too. And again, this is the battle. This is just why the legacy for Kendrick continues to ascend the way that it does in a battle like this, is because a song, like we're saying, the battle and the way that Kendrick moved proved that there's like a business and a strategy and a way that Kendrick is moving about the game that's just, you know, better than almost anybody. And a song that Not Like Us just continues to reaffirm that obviously, once again, Kendrick just makes better music than everybody as well, too. You know, it's simple to say, but that is really what the argument boils down to. And there, you know, obviously it's subjective at the end of the day. The Drake fans are gonna, you know, hey, yo, Drake makes the best music. Drake is, you know, the you know, lyrical #1 guy or whatever. It is what it is. But, you know, for his fan base. But, you know, again, if we're comparing song making ability, you can't say that Drake is a better song maker than Kendrick. Like, I guess, you know, there is a math to Drake's career. Like, he does have, you know, again, he has a lot of hits. I'm not going to sit here and say that Drake is not a talented musician, that Drake does not have hits, that Drake is not great. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, this is, again, arguing, you know, great basketball. Like, if you're arguing, I would say Jordan versus LeBron. But if you're arguing like Steph versus Jordan, again, you might actually, and we've said this hot take before, but you might actually argue that Steph is better than Jordan. Again, it's like, whoa, hey, yo. Like, I don't think you get that kind of reaction if you say Drake over Kendrick at this point. You know, I think it is a little still more LeBron Jordan-esque in terms of and just because, again, the Drake community is so strong as well too. But, and, you know, for me as well, and because I was so invested in, you know, the big three as a thing in hip hop, that I just liked the idea of them, of keeping, you know, I think that's what it was as well too, is as fans, we were kind of maybe if I'll say it, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'm just trying to re-examine. Maybe I'm not right, but I'm just trying to re-examine what it was. You know, maybe we were, you know, not totally artificial because their careers are still going and that separation will continue to happen, but maybe we were artificially putting those guys on the same level together because, again, it was fun that those guys were on the same level together, and those guys are a big three. And, you know, with all due, you know, J. Cole in years has been my #1 guy on Spotify. There's been years, you know, J. Cole has been our #1 guy of the big three, but, you know, J. Cole is not on the level of Kendrick and Drake. And at this point, I don't know if Drake's on the level of Kendrick. Again, you could say that in terms of the numbers, like, it is close, but that's the problem now for Drake, is the numbers are close. You can't say that that's a thing that he has over Kendrick. Like, you literally have to look at it and go, you know, oh, it is the couple of placements. But it's like, okay, what are we arguing? We're arguing placements. We're not arguing his spot in the game. Like, Drake does not occupy more space in the game at this point than Kendrick Lamar. Like, hey, yo, like, you know, I could double check the Spotify numbers right now. Like, I bet Drake is streaming more, but he's not, again, like, streaming more, if you get what I'm saying. Hey, yo, you know, now I'm the biased Kendrick fan talking here. 89.7 mil per month for Drake. You know, again, hot take. The man is a good artist. The man is going to be top 4. Oh, chat. Kendrick's all the way down to a measly 71.7. Hey, yo. I mean, I guess the numbers aren't close at all. Hey, it's like, Chad, he's on the level. He did the Super Bowl. It's the most viewed Super Bowl of all time. I mean, the conversation around him is as you know, intense, like, as following as Drake in some ways. You know, again, hey, yo, like, now, you know, again, he doesn't have to be in conversation as much as Drake to be as good as Drake. Like, that's not the point. But the point is his celebrity is there as well too. His numbers are there. You know, what GNX was dropped out of the middle of nowhere in the middle of the day and did like 225,000, 200 plus thousand in the first week. So, I mean, the Drake, what do we, I guess that is going to be a good number. Do we have a prediction? Does Polymarket have a prediction? Hey, yo. Because he did, what did For All the Dogs do? Did For All the Dogs do almost 500,000 the first week? Hey, yo, he might shut us up, chat. He might be like, occupy space in the game. Hey, yo. He's like, you forget how popular my music is. Which, again, hey, remind us. Like I'm gonna add the album into my Spotify. I'm not saying that I'll sit here and defend For All the Dogs as an album. I love the album. So again, we're defending artists that we love, but unfortunately, I feel like the artistry is just on a little bit of a different level. It is what it is. What do we have here for commercials performance? And at the end of the day, I guess that's probably what he would rather have, or he definitely claim that. But what do we have here? 402 debuted at number 1 with 402. I guess what was the last one before that as well? Travis did almost 500 with Utopia this year. I think was this 23 that this drops. Yeah, I think maybe Travis this year did almost 500, and then For All the Dogs would have been 402. So is Iceman gonna be 500? Some Sexy Songs for You was like, the numbers seem to get lower now as well, and Billboard is redoing everything, so I don't even know if numbers are going to be comparable in the way that they have been in the past. But if in a new numbers sense Drake did 350 this week, or I don't know if that would be a bad thing at all. Just again with the way the new I don't think it'd be like, has Drake fallen off? He's only done 350. Again, it's just the way the new numbers look. Like I'm telling you that everybody that we know that listens to music is going to listen to it. So I don't think, again, he's going to be whatever the numbers are, the streams are going to be having it. Like the streets are going to be playing it, the streams are going to be playing it, whatever you want to say. Like the album's going to be getting played. So but the point is the genius of Kendrick. If we can say it, chat. We're being biased toward LeBron, Kendrick, and Wemby. Like, can we just keep checking off the list of who is in the top of the what's the term that I'm looking for? Top of the pause. Whoa, what is the term that we're looking for, chat? The public approval rankings? That is it, but I feel like there's a term for that I'm looking for. I don't know if I can find it. But it is the public, who's at the top of the public approval rankings right now? Kendrick, LeBron, and Wemby? It might be. I almost said the Mount Rushmore of Americans, but we're claiming, sorry, France, the one thing we're taking is, I don't think Wemby is totally claiming the U.S. I think, I guess if Wemby ever does play for Team USA, what an achievement, chat. What an achievement. But I think competitively, he would want to bring that gold medal to his hometowns or his home country. So he'll probably always, play for France. It is what it is. But, either way, the Mount Rushmore of, what did we say, approval rating figures in America, cultural figures, would be at least is there anybody over those 3 guys right now? LeBron, Kendrick, and Wemby. Like, you're not gonna find anybody saying a bad thing about those 3 guys. Joe Budden podcast chat. Like what's number 4? What's number 4? I don't know. Oh, maybe we should bring our guy Van Lathan back. He's high approval rating, right? Maybe just not just us in IT, obviously, but I guess I feel like Wemby doesn't have, Wemby doesn't have the does LeBron have political controversial? I don't feel like people do. People don't hold LeBron and LeBron has made political stances in the past for sure. Again, his side is known. I mean. Obviously MJ's side is known as well. But we just had to drag MJ into it. It is what it is. But for LeBron, again, LeBron's still as popular. You don't feel LeBron, and I'm not saying this you do feel LeBron as a political figure, but you don't feel him as a controversial one. I guess which is really the honest way to say it, and that's a good thing. He's just sort of honest in his LeBron honest in his takes. But yeah, again, he's just kind of like, hey, this is who I'm rocking with, and shout out. But again, Wemby. And Kendrick, it is what it is. All those guys just move honestly. So, political or not, again, it's not like they're making an effort to be anything. It's just like they're just doing their thing. So that's the 3 chat. And then is Hove number 4? I guess we have him written down on our little board of things to mention next. But it does go to it. Drake is what I wanted to mention because I did see this clip of Jared McCain talking about Drake. And it did get me riled. Again, I hate to. Are we just talking about Kendrick and other? Sorry, but Drake. We're gonna be doing a pro Drake live stream when the Iceman episode drops. I really hope we do a pro Drake live stream. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. But we're planning on doing a pro Drake live stream when the the when the Iceman album drops. So I guess we just have to kind of, how much pro Drake live stream. We're only allowed to do one per week. Hey yo, that's the goal. So we have to do one pro Kendrick live stream and one pro Drake live stream. So this is our pro Kendrick one. Friday will be our pro Drake one. But I did see a Jared McCain clip that got me riled up. And hey yo, whoa! But it got me fired up, Chad. It got me fired up. It was related to Drake, and I guess we did mention Hove earlier, so we're all over the place. But we've got the fourth quarter of Cavs versus Pistons, and the Cavs are up by 4. Hey yo, this is the first time they've been on the lead in the road. Maybe in the lead on the road, I think is maybe the way we meant to say that. But either way, we'll be back from break right after this fourth quarter action right after this. Jared McCain hot takes right after this. Hey yo, stay tuned. Okay, chat, we are back. We've got the fourth quarter of Pistons versus Cavs going. It looks like, for now, it's going to be a close one. Cade is maybe turning up the heat right now. I mean, he's already got 32, but I mean, for this fourth quarter, it could be even more of a takeover. Oh, chat, ayo, he's already hit the first two. I mean, we could be in for a treat. We can be in for a treat. I was about to say, what are the best Pistons offensive performances in playoff games? Because the two teams that they have had that have, of course, made finals runs, multiple seasons, but the two era-defining teams they've had have been defensive teams, and the players themselves, there was a balance, there was that two-way impact that those guys had. Isaiah Thomas had the 25 in the quarter, but I don't know if that was like a 40-point game necessarily. I guess, McCain, you're safe for now. You're safe for now, but let's go back to Isaiah Thomas. Let's go to Isaiah Thomas's player page real quick and see if we can figure out like a playoff high as well too. Whoa, excuse me, chat. For what he could have done. And again, rest in peace, of course, to Brandon Clark. I don't want to seem like we're ignoring it as we, type in the name here as it is mentioned on the basketball reference page. But for Isaiah Thomas's game highs here, we do have, 47 in his third year in the regular season. In the playoffs, 43. So I don't know if 43 is a Pistons franchise record. Let's see if we can investigate, chat. Because, of course, they did pass on Melo in the draft. So I don't think Darko Milicic had any playoff franchise record. Chauncey Billups, again, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, they weren't necessarily like individually. Again, Chauncey Billups, he had his games. They all had their games. Rasheed Wallace could put up 35, 40 in a game if he had to as well. Again, he had to be cooking, but he definitely could. It was definitely possible. Do we have like a game high record? I guess maybe we don't. Let's see if we can do a quick Google search. Most points in a Pistons playoff game. Assuming the Google AI can pause, give it to us, right? Oh, it is Cade already. Oh, Dave Bing. How could we forget about Dave Bing, chat? The mayor himself. The great Dave Bing. 44 points in the 68 Eastern Division semis. Game 6 versus Boston. And then that 43 versus Isaiah Thomas, like we mentioned, 88 finals. But Cade, against Orlando with 45. So, yep, he already has the record at this point as well. He's going to break his own record, it looks like. Cade passed the great Dave Bing for playoff scoring. Let's see here, chat, if we can get the basketball reference up and cooking. Oh, chat, 46! Even better than we imagined, apparently. He's had a 43, a 40, and a 46 in each of the last three playoff games, at least each of the last three playoff appearances, we should say. That'd be a crazy playoff run. Oh, this is regular season. Oh, that's versus the Wizards, chat. I was about to say, he's like, that's like some Luka stuff that we haven't been mentioning Cade's playoff performances quite like that. Oh, chat, we're having some technical difficulties, but I just think it's with the Pluto. It's not with the internet. Hopefully not. I guess here, let me do some double checking. I think we're looking good so far, but Basketball Wives just got turned off. Okay, let's see if we can retry this real quick. Okay. Oh, and now we pause the Cavs Pistons game. Okay, we're going. James Harden free throws, good. James Harden free throws, good to go. I guess. All-Star games for K. We need game highs, is what we're looking for. Playoff games high for K. Yeah, 45. So 46 this year in the regular season, 45 this year in the playoffs. So he is at right now 34. 8 minutes left. He might get there if he, really gets heavy volume. Pause. But Donovan Mitchell is at 12. I'd say it has not been a heavy Donovan Mitchell night. But Strus has done well, and obviously James Harden actually is the one performing well tonight, too. So James Harden, he did this in Philly a couple years ago where he like saved them till Game 7 and then tanked the Game 7, unfortunately. Hey, yo, chat, what's going on with Basketball Wives? Why did it stop playing? Hey, yo, I don't know. Doug Christie was just on the TV. Hey. What's going on? Former coach of the Kings, Doug Christie, is he still there? Hey, I forgot Luke Walton's on one of these staffs. I was like, hey, that's former Kings coach. A lot of former Kings coaches out there. Former Kings coach Mike Malone, former Kings coach Luke Walton, former Kings coach Doug Christie. I guess, hey, yo. Even though Doug Christie still might be around, but make no mistake, I mean, at some point, former Kings coach Doug Christie. It is what it is. I mean, not to get, not to get dark or anything like that, but just saying that, they don't last long. Pause. It is what it is. But 2-point lead for Cleveland. Okay, timeout. We're Jared McCain. Here we go. It is what it is. I guess #1 Drake fan in the NBA. I mean, it has to be Jared McCain. What do we mean by that, Chet? Hey, yo, we just mean like a younger generation guy, right? Because when the beef did happen, again, like Steph and LeBron, like in Durant. I don't remember exactly which side is Durant on, chat. Hey, yo, Klay Thompson. Like, those guys are the famous players in the league. Like, Steph and LeBron are the famous players. Steph and LeBron are of a different era, though. So, again, the more mature guys tend to, listen to Kendrick. But it is what it is. Like, when the league made the split, pause, hey, yo, it's like an action movie. When the splits happened in the NBA, that's when we knew the rap beef was really bad. And then the older guys went for Kendrick, the younger guys went for Drake. I guess the point is, there might be other reasons why McCain's a fan of Drake, but also the age would be the main one that we're thinking of. A younger generation type guy. But apparently, unashamed. I guess, do we have to go back and check the quotes during the beef? Hey, yo, is Drake like, the Heart Part 6? Good production on that song. He's like, actually, the beat's not bad. But it knows every word to Family Matters. I mean, again, Family Matters is a good track. Unfortunately, the most neutralized track of all time. Again, I guess we were saying this in the Lost Tapes, but I feel like as good as this is not a diss against Not Like, hey, now we're dissing the diss track. This is not a diss against Not Like Us. But Ether is still like the one that you would say if, like in the next rap battle, would you say a track got ethered or a track got Not Like Us? Because Ether still is about, neutralizing the last diss track. So the way that Kendrick did it was awesome because it was such an immediate response, and it just so quickly, again, immediately made Drake's diss track, ineffective. But Ether still, was at the time, it's close, obviously looking back at it now, but, Ether still probably wins. But, again, in the moment, Ether was still the track that neutralized the track before. But Takeover was the track before it, right? Ether was after the Blueprint album, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, we don't even know the order, and we're sitting here talking about it. But, it is what it is. The tracks they just live on Spotify at the same time these days. It's not like you have to listen to them in order. But, again, either way, I don't know if you would say a track. I guess you could say it got Kendrick, right? That's it. That is what it would be. You would say it got Kendrick. Even though it got Nas, would not be bad. Hit the Nas. That'd be more of a Fast and Furious reference, though. But, and obviously, McCain, hey, we would never judge anybody for being for Drake being their number. We would never do that. Hey, yo. Again, Drake can obviously be your #1 guy. Your #1 guy can be whoever you want it to be. Hey, yo, we're fans of, honesty in admitting your rotations. We like to admit, the guys that we listen to. We like to be honest in the guys that we don't listen to. The movie stars, the movies that we don't go back to, where it's like, hey, yo, this all-time movie, like, oh, you don't watch The Godfather once a month. It's like, no, actually, I probably don't even watch it once a year. But, again, I'm just being honest. There are other, again, we mentioned, I'm overwatching, The Dark Knight or some other great movie. Again, it's just like, we're just being honest about our rotation. So, hey, yo, Jared McCain, be honest about your rotation. That's not what is necessarily what, for some reason got me like upset. I guess is upset even the right word? Again, I don't want to say rub me the wrong way. Hey, yo, pause. But again, I feel like upset is too strong. But yeah, again, I feel like it does get you in a mode. It does get you in like rant mode, where it's like, hey, yo, I have a feeling about this. Where again, it's not the fandom that is the issue. It's this quote here that is the issue. Let's see if we can play what he's saying here real quick. I guess let me make sure that the audio is queued up. McCain, don't sue us for defamation, but also for playing your video.
Drake
Ayo.
said,
double lawsuit, it's going to be bad.
Draft day,
Ayo.
Johnny Manziel. 5 years later, how am I the man still? Draft day, A. Wiggins. Frick, that other side. Blank, we stay winning. Let you guys know some lyrics for today. Drake said,
okay, chat.
Draft
so
day,
obviously,
Johnny Manziel.
I mean, the man quoting Drake, that's great stuff. Again, like we said, he can like his lyrics. That's not what upsets me. What upset me for some reason was he said, this is what Drake said. And I feel like I have heard, we said Hove earlier, I feel like I've heard a whole generation of rap fans beforehand say, this is what Hove said when mentioning like iconic rap lyrics. And it just made me realize that like there's a whole generation of people that are going to treat Drake lyrics like Hove lyrics. And, again, with all due respect to Drake, and I love having, like we said earlier, the big three's great. Maybe, Kendrick is one of the big three of the lyrics that, you should be taking a little bit more of a close attention to. Obviously, great beat selection over the course of it. Great cadences and, again, very competitive lyricism as well, too. Like, we love the sort of motivational factor that Drake can bring. And, Jay-Z does bring a lot of that, again, motivational energy to his music as well, too. But, there is just a perspective that Jay-Z has that is just, and, he has dropped music later like Drake as well, too. Oh, chat, we've got the first IT issues of the night, but I think we staved it off pretty good. Look at that. We staved it off pretty good. So hopefully that means the what are we saying? The fixes are good to go. I'm trying to monitor everything. I'm like, okay, I think we're cooking. But yeah, one little hiccup is not too bad. Just a little scare is all. And a hiccup at this point, I feel like we're we did a decent job of making it through the live stream. But either way, again, I feel like there's just a whole generation of people that are going to be living by Drake lyrics, and I don't know if we're ranking lyrics to live by. Is that the number one? Hey, yo, it is. I mean, there's so many great, motivational rappers that it's like lyrics, that you could be. But I've been listening to a lot of Nipsey Hussle interviews lately. Rest in peace. And Victor Lap has been in rotation a lot lately as well too. I mean, it's all, that's always a mainstay album, but it's been, really, really, really heavy in rotation as of late. But again, quoting a guy like Nipsey, hey, maybe, I probably don't even do it enough myself. Make it an effort. It's like vocabulary of the day. Like, what's one word of the day? Like I can use, like, what's one Nipsey Hussle quote that I can use throughout the course of the day? Hey, obviously, just one of the great motivational, great people that's ever been in the game, ever, just been in a public-facing way like that. Obviously, rest in peace, the legend. But, again, if we're talking maybe just those, like, absolute mainstream top guys, where, again, like, Jay-Z, the era, no disrespect to any of the other guys for the mentioning, but, oh, Dennis Jenkins for 3, the crowd is going crazy, chat. Pistons up by 6. But 10-0 run. Ooh, chat. Hey, yo, Dennis Jenkins has been the secret weapon for him all year. So him and Cade taking over in the fourth quarter. You love to see it. But what are we saying? For the mainstream guys, like Hove is one of those for the era. Like Nas, like we're saying, as well too. And again, it's nothing against Drake. But if you think of like the era, those era defining lyricists, those top guys. that is always the argument as well too. Like, I hate to pile on in that type of way, pause, but Drake just doesn't have the lyrical content of those guys. Like, again, I think that motivational athlete perspective, again, there is a lot of great stuff there. Hey, yo, like, again, you could definitely, find a lot of fun motivational stuff in what he's saying, but there is just like a everyday life perspective. There is a way, obviously, of Jay-Z talking about cultural stuff sometimes in his verses. There's just like a whole realm of life stuff that you're gonna get in like the Jay-Z discography that you're not gonna get in a lot of discographies. But hey, yo, you're not gonna get in the Drake discography. That's what's gonna be so interesting about this album, of course, is gonna be the perspective that he is approaching it from, because he could approach it from the perspective of like a revenge, everything's in the sense of like still looking back at the beef and pause. Hey, yo, whoa. But and I'm sure there is we're gonna want to see a little bit of that on the album. But I don't even know. It's even weird to even think about what that would be like at this point. Like mature Drake. Like, hey, yo, like I don't want to say that Drake is not mature, but there is just a simplistic sort of relational, like we're saying, and then motivational, I'm on top perspective. Pause. Hey, I guess that goes back to relationship stuff, but in terms of the elevation of the game, like there is that motivational stuff that he is, providing from his songs as well too. But it's not like what's Drake's take on this issue. He will again like open up about these public issues that he like has to address. But, earlier in his career, it was definitely like him laying out his story a lot more, for sure. I mean, again, obviously, some of the lyrical cuts of his earlier days, there's just a different ambition, a different hunger that he's attacking it with, but he was just a different type of lyricist back then as well, too, for better or worse. Again, he could be more skilled as a craftsman of, like, the words and the stuff like that, but just the substance, the story, like we're saying, of the bars in his past were just different, more vivid, and just a little bit more captivating as well too. Like I was saying earlier, like I do love For All the Dogs because of that reason, because it is, I think, and some people were saying like, oh, again, we mentioned the NFR pod earlier, shout out. If I do remember correctly, this was one of their criticisms of the album. Again, I don't want to necessarily misstate their judgments of it. But, they were saying in the moment, if I remember correctly, that some of the, and, again, some of is, for sure, I'm sure, a fair criticism, but they were saying that some of the artists' performances did seem a little lackluster at times. I didn't necessarily, again, maybe this is now I'm being a biased Drake fan. I really like the way that he was attacking a lot of those songs, and the beats on For All the Dogs are great. Again, is it this crazy lyrical album? Not really. But it is a fun song album to listen to. But, do I find myself going back to that as much as, again, even like a So Far Gone album? Like So Far Gone might be, in some ways, just as good or not better because the vivid, like we're saying, just the vivid lyrical pictures that he's painting in a lot of those projects. So, again, he's obviously evolved as artists, and that is where you do have to give, J. Cole credit in some ways as well, too, to bring him back into the conversation. Like, he has sort of maintained that vivid lyrical style, but has continued to up his game as a craftsman. I guess I'm not going to say too much, but The Fall's a great album. The Fall's a great album. Shout out. Hey, yo, J. Cole put a lot of work into that. So, props. But, to me, that was so funny that it was just like, I feel like, the generation of people that live by the Hove lyrics, I guess, every generation, I'm sure we could all battle about who's doing it better, pause, who, whatever. And I do also, I feel like you can check the tapes. Like, I do try to stand up for our era in some of those arguments. Like, we love the 90s, make no mistake, in terms of the entertainment that provided today, even. But, I do try to stand up for some of this era stuff when they're like, oh, the movie stars of today aren't as good as back then. And it's like, okay, obviously Al Pacino's great. We love Denzel. Denzel, I think, I don't know if we can claim him in like the 2020s. The 2010s, I think we can still claim, I'm not writing Denzel off for the 2020s. I'm just saying I think he's a legacy actor now in the 2020s. It becomes, again, Denzel, the mega. Again, like Pacino was acting in the 2010s, but I feel like you have to, he kind of gets end claimed at the 90s as well too. But like we're saying, Insomnia, like he has good roles in the 2010s or in the 2000s. I mean, in the 2010s, he's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so he's still acting then. But again, he's like the legacy actor at that point. But like, I mean, is Michael B. Jordan not as good of a movie star as we? And again, maybe these guys need a little bit of time to get there, as well too. But it's like, Michael B. Jordan's his movies are as good as movies as anybody else. And, again, we were just criticizing Hollywood as well. But, again, if somebody else criticizes it, then it's like, well, what about Coogler? What about Nolan? What about, maybe we're going to run out of names sooner than we, wanted to. But the Russo brothers, making original films, The Gray Man. But, again, we will try to defend this era. And I do, again, like Drake's commercial success, his beats. Compared to, again, like legitimately one of the great discography of beats of, and I'm not saying that in any sort of, that's all he has. Like that is, half of the game. Hey, yo, like legitimately just like strip the lyrics away. And again, Drake's melodic cadences and even rap cadences on all these songs are great as well too. But it's like just strip the beats away or just strip the lyrics away. If you're just listening to somebody's discography, and Kendrick is, just as good in that sense as well too, and Cole in his own right, his production is just as good. I mean, it's the reason why they're, you have to have all of those things in your bag, obviously, to be as popular as they are. But again, if it's like, what would a rapper say in this situation? What's the bar that I need to get me through this moment? Oh, what would Drake say? Hey, yo, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm just conditioned because of what I was hearing, again, from the previous generation, but maybe I'm just conditioned to, like, this is what Hove would say. Hey, yo. But it is just like, it just doesn't, something about that doesn't sound right. Again, maybe I'm being biased Kendrick. Again, I feel like with Kendrick, it's like, oh, the Kendrick bar for this situation. There is a little bit of that, with, again, and obviously the, not really anymore, at least, in certain circles, with, like, Kanye, where, back before, obviously, the turn, I don't really know what we call it, but, back before, things really started to obviously, unfortunately go the direction that they went, that would have been one of those things where he would, just be, he was one of the most quotable guys. So it was like, here is the yay bar that stands out in this situation, or, more like a comedy thing as well, too, where it's like, it's just like this funny bar applies in this moment versus more, again, like Hove is like, here's this wisdom that I need or something like that, or this clever like thought that's like, oh yeah, Hove said this and this is a situation that I'm in. He's like he was right. That is what happens here. That is what the hoes do. Hey, oh wait, I think that's more Drake as well. Hey, I think that might be everybody. Hey, yo, but I don't know. Maybe I'm an old head, chat. I don't know. But I'm like, is this what the next generation, like, and what is even worse? Hey, yo, what is the generation after this gonna do? Hey, yo, like, I guess Jared McCain's in his third season. So, like the guys that are now going to be freshmen in college, they'll be like, 3 or 4 years behind Jared McCain at this point. So that'll be, a good generation behind him now. At this point, hey, yo, time moves fast. Hey, yo, it is what it is. Jared McCain, he's already old. But he went from young to old in the course of a Drake segment. But, hey, yo, whoa! Oh, man, I didn't expect us to, do satire like that. But either way, Chad, now we're really spreading Kendrick propaganda. It is what it is. Hey, yo, we got to focus on this game real quick. 3.5 left. Oh, no, Pistons up by 6. I mean, that's not a no-no for that. But, just a weed tread lightly. It is what it is. Asar Thompson, corner 3, wide open for a reason. Hey, yo. And speaking of threes, they did show before the game going, if we can rewind a whole 4 3/4 quarters, Tobias Harris with 3, they announced before the game for the Pistons that Duncan Robinson was out, but that they were going to activate Kevin Huerter in his place, which is like the all-time Like, that's like the all-time Spider-Man meme for subbing guys in. Like, oh, we're basically the same guy. Hey, yo. It's like, how is Kevin Huerter not active anyways? But Kevin Huerter's on the bench? I mean, unbelievable. The Pistons must be the best team in the league. But for Donovan Mitchell's 0 for 7 from 3 tonight. Hey, yo. But for Kevin Huerter to be your sub for Duncan Robinson, that's hilarious. I don't even know what the quarterback... That's like having Joe Montana and Steve Young at the same time. Hey, whoa, pause. I don't know. Did that ever happen? Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, I hate to be the one that asked the question, but I think it had to be asked. Hey, yo. That's all that we will ask about it, but probably not because Steve Young was a Mormon. Hey, yo. Mobley with the dunk. What's the score here, chat? Hey, we might have to shut it down soon. I think YouTube might step in. The technical difficulties are gonna fire up. Hey, yo. It is what it is. And I think the real reason we didn't have technical difficulties tonight is because we didn't talk about the NBA lottery. Let me check the connection. Are we good to go as I mentioned it? Because that was the main chunk of the live stream the last couple of days. And the league just would not let us do it, chat. Pause. Hey, yo. They kept silencing us. It is what it is. So maybe on the next live stream we'll get into the lottery rant as well too, because I feel like we're really, again, speaking truth to power when it pertains to the NBA lottery situation. But either way, and I feel like it's kind of pro the league as well too. Maybe they just don't want us, revealing what is actually happening. But I feel like it is still in favor. Like, we're just being like, hey, if this is happening, then we should all be fans of it. Hey, yo, we're spreading propaganda for the league in terms of the lottery, so that'll be the next live stream, I guess, as well. But Cavs have made this a 2-point game with 1 minute left. Hey, yo, can Cade close him out with a shot here? Can Dennis Jenkins close him out with a shot? Tobias Harris for 3. Oh, chat, he's been good for him all series. I guess, automatic. I don't know if automatic's the right term, but he's been pretty reliable. James Harden shanks the layup. It was all a fake to pass it to Donovan Mitchell. Hey, yo. He shanked the layup, and as he got the rebound, passed it out to Mitchell. But Mitchell, he forgot he was 0 for 7 from 3, so Mitchell remembered, but James Harden forgot. So Donovan Mitchell was like, I can't go 0 for 8. I'm going to pass this. And now Evan Mobley is at the line, but he can tie it with free throws. Hey, yo, what would Drake say, chat? What would Drake say fourth quarter in the last couple minutes of a game? Fourth quarter, down by 6, just like the zip code I grew up with. Hey, yo, chat. I mean, look at that. I mean, we're Drake GPT over here. Jared McCain's going to be like, let me get you a lyric of the day. The zip code for Drake is the 6, blah, blah, blah. Is that even the zip code? I don't know. But... yeah, either way. I guess, we need a little bit more of a, melodic flow. We need more of a fake Jamaican accent to really pull off the impersonation. Hey, yo, Chad. I don't know what's happening. We're all over the place. Pause at this point. Mobley for the tie. He got it, chat. 103. We might get to overtime. I mean, hey, yo, not to keep going back to Drake, but hey, we even went to the pause. We even went to the we literally just went through a Hove song like a couple live streams ago. I forget which one that is, so you're gonna have to watch all of them, chat. That's what you're gonna have to watch all of them to figure it out. But I mean, I still have the song on replay in my. I will for the rest of the time. It is what it is. It's a favorite song of ours, but. Smile off of 4x4. I mean, and again, so many songs off of hey, yo, do we have to now name every favorite Hove song? We don't. It's okay. We love a bunch of them. But for some reason, Smile by 4x4, it's a catchy song. But again, just like and like we're saying, that's an unfair one because Drake is not to that point in his career yet, so he can't really even rap from that perspective. But where I guess, hey, yo, what's the comparison? At this point, because like I said, I feel like the output has been pretty consistently similar. Again, 444 was, hey, yo, how do you spell this guy's name? How do you spell Jay-Z? Hey, yo. 444 was his 13th studio album. I guess what were we saying? Jay-Z or Hey, yo. Drake needs to do a album. He needs to do an album. He needs to do a video album. Like a movie soundtrack album. There it is, chat. There it is. We got the words. Hey, yo. It is what it is. I guess we just forgot the English language for a second. Hey, yo. But Drake needs to do a gangster movie album. Carlito's Way 3? Rose to Power? Hey, yo. Fall from Power. Oh, chat, bring Diddy. Well, I don't know if you want to bring Diddy back, but I mean, you know. Hey, yo. It is what it is. Cade Cunningham. I mean, oh, man. We are really going crazy, chat. We're now casting. We've now gone all the way to casting Diddy and Carlito's Way, you know, Fall from Power. But, I mean, who else are you going to cast if it's a Fall from Power movie? The Pistons with the offensive rebound have a chance to take the lead here. The fall-away jumper, an air ball. An absolute air ball. The Cavs have decided to finally play a good game on the road. They finally decided to lock in for a defensive possession with like a couple minutes left. And, I mean, they smothered them there. The Pistons had absolutely nothing. They couldn't get a drive. Karis LeVert had nothing, Chad. Hey, yo. I mean, what does it mean if Karis LeVert's creating? But either way, I guess for all the dogs was, hey, we got to stay on track here. We're all over the place, like we said. I guess 20 seconds. Where do we focus? Where do we focus? We focus on the end of the game. Donovan Mitchell. Hey, yo. 103s, they have 2 timeouts. So do they call? No, chat. Mobley for the screen. The double. This is disastrous. Asar Thompson with the lockdown. Oh, Mitchell got by him. Asar Thompson with the steal. Overtime. Overtime, chat. Oh, did they foul? Oh, no. Don't do that. Oh, chat, the refs are like, don't forget about us. Oh, okay. Asar's getting there. He's getting the pats on the back. He's getting the daps. I mean, he's got to get the daps anyway. That was amazing defense. That was incredible. I mean, Donovan Mitchell did do a good job of getting into the paint there, considering the fact that they had him double teamed at half court. But Asar was on his hip the entire time. Again, all the way from half court into the paint. If anything, and I mean, Mitchell did do the right thing there. He should have gone for the floater like he did, and Asar Thompson just made a great play with the spot that he was, you know, kind of angled guarding him, and was able to get the deflection there. So 103, chat, 103. Hey, yo. Okay, bonus content for the Rem and Sam Makeup live stream. It is what it is. We get overtime here, so I guess a quick little break, and we'll be right back. Overtime up next. Okay, chat, overtime firing up here on the ESPN feed. We've got the video feed a couple of seconds behind the TV or the screen feed here in the background. So we are just now getting overtime started. But it does look like the Cavs were able to get some points on the board here, making it 105 to 103 to get the new quarter kicked off. But we did look up during the break, officially confirmed the song that Jaron McCain was quoting from Drake there was Draft Day from the Care Package album. So I gotta say, one that I'm not super familiar with, and in total, there is some good songs off that. Speaking of the J. Cole combo there, I think they're first, not their first. I don't know if they're their first, but they do team up on that one. Pause in Jodeci's Freestyle. And that is actually a good track. The hot take would be that Jodeci's Freestyle is better than first-person shooter mode. Maybe the beat? I don't know. It'd be close. But, and it would be mostly because of the fact that that song also got neutralized in the rap beef. And I don't think Jodeci's Freestyle did. Well, I think J. Cole's entire career for the last 5 years did. But either way, hey, yo. But either way, just to compare real quick, a Drake said scenario versus a J. Cole said scenario. So I guess that, or a Hove said scenario is what we were actually meaning to say there. But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess really we should count this up on the Spotify. See how many albums he dropped. If we go same album, same song for Jay-Z to Drake and get a quote there. Let's see. So Care Package is what song, Draft Day is what. Or Care Package, what album, Draft Day is what song of that. We won't count the deluxe for Nothing Was the Same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. His 10th project for Care Package. The song Draft Day would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th track off the 10th project. So for Jay-Z, his 10th album, is this going to be American Gangster? Let's see what we got here. His 10th album is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to count MTV Unplugged. Let me double check this one. This just a cover song. So we're not going to count that. 7 with the Blueprint 2. 8, 9. Kingdom Come! Okay, Chad, if Drake's ever going to win one, it's going to be this. Kingdom Come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do You Want to Ride? Off of Kingdom Come with John Legend is the Jay-Z song that we have to pitch against Draft Day. So same album, same track number. Let's see what we get here. We said, do you want to ride? Let's see what we've got. I guess, do we go same bar from the song? Hey, yo, chat. That's crazy work. That's crazy. So let's see what we've got here for Drake. We need the song Draft Day. And we'll compare which generation is better. Is it Hove or is it Drake? I guess. Hey, yo. Hopefully we're doing this battle right. Trying to, maintain the name of the old heads here. But I'm getting worried, chat. I guess Care Package is, again, not like Drake's strongest performance. So we may be okay there. Draft Day for Kevin Costner and Draft Day for Drake. Both. Not necessarily, one of ones, but maybe classic anyways. Draft Day, Johnny Manziel. 5 years later, How Am I the Man Still? Draft Day, A. Wiggins. F the other side, we stay winning. Aw, man, you know what I had to do for you. You know I had to do it for you. Hey, chat, what a genius. Let's read that again. Let's read that again. Aw, man, you know I had to do it for you. You know I had to do it for you. Yes, suits and ties yelling out, pay the guys. Man, I had to do it for you. You know I had to do it for you. You know I had to do it for you. Oh, yeah, man, I had to do it too. So that's Drake on Draft Day. And this is Jay-Z on Do You Want to Ride? Ooh, a Kanye beat. Hey, yo. Emery, what up? It's already better. A legend. The greatest. Anytime he shouts out Emery, the song's great. Told you I honestly don't even know how this song's goes. I've never even listened to Kingdom Come that much. So, I guess, do we fire it up here and see what is going on? 2006 Kanye, is this going to be like soulful or like clip style? Let's see what we get here. But, hey, we've got the speaker going. Let me mute real quick so we don't get the copy. Chad, it might be in the rotation. Hey, yo, are we going to be bumping Kingdom Come? It is what it is. In preparation for the Drake album release, we're going to be bumping Jay-Z. I think that's a good plan. It is what it is. Just listen to Jay-Z all day until you listen to Drake and then listen to a little more Jay-Z. It is what it is. Is this John Legend going, I know. Emery, what up? I do write rhymes, but what I do, I set them, open, subscribe to the airways, vibe with me. Hey, yo, Chad, I guess we can't read. It is what it is. We live in South Beach in the Hamptons, too. I mean, Jay-Z, it's already better. Hey, yo. Let's see, can we get to the verse? Get to the verse. Hey, yo. Though, shout out to John Legend, though. Do you want to ride with me? With me? You know why they call it project? Because it's a project? Chad, it's already better. As an experiment, we're in it only as objects, and for the object for us to explore our prospects and sidestep cops on the way to the top. Yes, Chad! 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 Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Chad! There's a reason this man is the GOAT! Hey, yo, do we compare again real quick? Should we just compare? Jared McCain, listen up! Should we compare again real quick? Drake, okay. I guess we should get him on the verse. We got to get him on the verse to be fair, right? Sometimes I laugh with God about how you can't stop me. I'm his darkest angel? Probably, but he still got me. I'm getting mine, but still I live better lives. And I set aside to make sure my people getting by. Brunch with some Qatar royals, and my cup is all oil. Okay, that's a bar. It's real. They'll take the fall for you. All loyal, you keep egging me on. Oh, chat. Here we go. Buckle up. This is it right here. This is our new generation's GOAT. All so loyal, keep egging me on. And we gonna have to crack a shell just to prove you ain't hard-boiled. Yeah! Get him, Drake. But, Jay-Z's only saying in the first couple of lines. You know why they call it the projects? You know why they call the projects a project? Because it's a project, an experiment. We're in it only as objects, and for the object for us to explore our prospects and sidesteps the cops the way to the top. Yes! As kids, we would daydream sitting on our steps, pointing at cars like, yeah, that's our six. Hustling profits made our eyes stretch on some Dr. Spock. We started our trek. Hey, yo. Some of us made it. Most of us digressed. In the name of those who ain't made it, my progress, we show success. Please live through me. I guess, like I said, I've never heard this one before, so I guess I don't really know how the cadence goes. But, see, I'm eyes for Emery. Keep him alive. So every time I press 5, all I want to hear is his boy talk fly. Chat. Hey, yo. Up in the Fed, and he's still holding his head. So when he hit the streets, we gonna eat through this bread. Now let's ride. And then John Legend kicking in. Do you want to ride with me? Jay-Z. International Hove. I told you so. 4040s out in Tokyo, Singapore. All this from singing songs. Coming up with what we thought Slingin' Raw was the end-all be-all of being rich, didn't we? Little did we know my more potent delivery would deliver me Kingpin of the Ink Pen. Monster of the double entendre. Coke is still my sponsor? Oh, chat. Oh, it's tough, chat. Oh, man. Hey, yo. Again, it's not fair to compare anybody. Are the Cavs going to win this one? Hey, yo. 40 seconds left, up by 4. Let's see if Strus can hit a game-sealing field goal here. Oh, Harden, he just tried to cut. James Harden with the cut in the lob. Oh, chat. He couldn't decide if it was a lob or a floater. It was kind of right in between. It was a dud. Hey, yo, option number 3, a miss. But still a 4-point game either way. Monster of the little did I know my Mo Potent delivery would deliver me Kingpin of the Ink Pen. Monster of the double entendre. Coke is still my sponsor. Yeah, the cola. Hove still getting it with the soda. Diet, no sir, I ain't lose no weight. Started from the crates, now I'm sitting on a whole case since they got you sitting on that old case. Our dreams is on hold like TiVo. Still, I can't wait, you get your date. I got some tempo plates outside the gate. We gon' ride. You know Jay-Z has a verse 3 as well too. Me and my little mama, Quinta and Tai, Juan and Dez out in Saint Tropez. Jay Brown and Kawana sneaking marijuana. You know that Mary J give you no more drama? Oh, no more family drama. Lost a couple of friends. This whole got weird. But when they get home, you know your spot's reserved, you heard? Now we chillin' somewhere. Now we all somewhere foreign chillin', sippin' something. I ain't forgot you cousin. Y'all can wear sneakers on the beach if you want to. Come on, playin' money marathon. My youngin' is LeBron. You know what that makes me, baby. Big homie, he Emery, what's up? Hey, I guess we never get the, we can't ad-lib the Jay-Z ad-libs the same way we get when he gets like a he or a he or a, yeah, or something. Again, we can't really do the Jay-Z ad-libs. It is what it is. It's more like, I guess, hey, yo. I guess I'll work on it, chat. I'll work on the impression. We'll be back on the live stream with the Jay-Z impression. It is what it is. But, you love he's got to remind us that LeBron started off, as a rock kid as well, too. So, obviously, got to remind us in verse 3. But, it is what it is. We didn't even, Jay-Z didn't send us this song to read, in comparison to the Drake song. This is just the song that Jared McCain chose to quote, and we just said, hey, same album, same song off of the album, same track placement, same album number in his career, same track placement off of the album. So project number 10, track number 6. And, it is what it is. It turns out the man's just better than Drake. So, I guess, it's a high bar, again, to say, like, a whole generation has to quote a guy as good as Hove. But it is what it is. If that's going to be your guy to quote, then, he's got to hit the standard. So, hey, the Pistons only down 2, though. 26 seconds left. We'll see double OT, a playoff classic. A playoff OT classic. I guess it has been a competitive game. It's obviously been close. Hey, hot tickets in overtime. But, it's not like we're at 113 to 111 right now. We played 5 extra minutes. So it's not like it's been the highest quality of play through the 5 quarters. But it has been intense. It has been competitive. It has been close here in the last quarter and in overtime. So at least in a rewatchability standpoint, because that's the thing. If it goes double OT, this game's going to get replayed. It's going to get replayed a lot. It automatically just becomes a classic game. Any playoff game in double OT, unless, it's like 82. It's like somehow we played 2 overtimes and it's 82 to 89. Like, then it would be like, okay, that game just was absolutely terrible. And maybe there were some double OT games like that back in the day. Again, I'm thinking modern NBA with the pace of play, with the 3-pointers, with the skill set. Like, these guys still scoring in the 80s. I guess what the Timberwolves have done, hey, yo. Now we've jinxed it. We just lost the last 2. Hey, yo. Sorry to the Spurs fan base. But, if that were be the case, then maybe there's actually that game's a waste of time. That game went too long. But any game like this that's decently played with 2 overtimes is a playoff classic. It is what it is. It's like, I don't know, it's a fine game, sure. Eastern Conference semis, Pistons versus Cavs. Donovan Mitchell didn't hit a 3, and nobody scored 120. But, fun game. Either way. A defensive classic. Old James Harden, we love to say it. We love to say old James Harden and bad Donovan Mitchell. What could be more iconic than this combo? But either way, James Harden has with a chance to make it a 4-point game and lead his team to victory. He has a chance to get 30. Ooh, chat. He's going to miss. He's going to miss one. I don't know. Can James Harden put up 30 in a playoff closeout these days? It feels like a 29-pointer. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There's the first. There's the first. And a miss here would make it a 3-point game still, so that would give that Pistons, of course, that last life here. I would say a miss, and then we're going to go and 1 for Detroit as well, too. Cade and 1. Cade 3, though, he did just hit a pretty good, miracle jumper. And not miracle jumper, but, a good quick jumper on the other end. So definitely has the ability to recreate that. It's a close shot clock, game clock matchup right now, 24 to 24.4 for the actual overtime clock itself. So Cleveland's going to have 0.4 seconds to... Oh, and he did miss! He missed, but he got his own rebound. Hey, yo, chat. So our prediction was half right. We said a miss and then a and 1 for Detroit. But a miss, and now even worse case scenario, James Harden with 2 free throws has a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Oh, chat. It was all a ploy. I mean, that was a perfect miss right off the back of the iron. Hey, yo. And the way it arced up off of the miss as well, too, is the ideal way to have that happen. It's not always... You can't always... I guess you can't always, but if you're as accurate as some of these NBA guys, I'm sure you can. I'm sure Steph could probably get some of these misses to go the way he wanted to. Okay, so James Harden does get 30 because of that. 8 for 21 tonight. A classic James Harden playoff game. Hey, yo. Put it right in the James Harden Hall of Fame. Another miss! Another miss. I guess 4-point game still makes it a 2-point game. So don't foul Dennis Jenkins on this 3-point jumper. Or Tobias Harris. Clank. Okay, there we go. Cade, one last shot. Dennis Jenkins! Hey, yo. Okay. Oh, and a foul. Oh, Chad, it won't stop. Just put us out of our misery. Hey, yo. Oh, James, yeah, see, there we go. He gets the message. James Harden gets the message. It is what it is. But, James Harden, literally, that's what we're trying to, you're putting Detroit out of your misery. We're put us out of our misery for having to watch playoff games. Hey, yo, no, like we said, we were pro. And on that note, Chad, we can't even talk anymore. Hey, yo, okay, we're back. The Rem and Sam pod, back strong. Do we check? Hopefully, spoiler alert, the live stream got disconnected somehow. Hey, yo. Let's do one take and see. Hopefully we made it through. Hey! We did it, chat. It's been a journey. It's been a journey back to the mountaintop, but we're here and we're back stronger than ever. Yeah! Let's go. So we're here, chat. We've got Drake's Iceman album later this week. Stay tuned. Sorry about the earlier week stuff. The Wi-Fi issues were crazy. The fragmented live streams are in the... they're in the lost tapes. They're in the vault. So who knows? Maybe one day you'll get to see there's one that's literally just like a 12-second version, and then the internet just cut out again. And it's like, okay, apparently, whoever joined us for the 12-second live stream, pause, I'm sorry, it doesn't usually happen that fast. But, hey, yo, it is what it is. Okay, chat, we're out of here. We'll see you later. Subscribe to see when we're back next. Hopefully with the stronger Wi-Fi, it'll be, we'll be live all night. But no. We'll be back.